Welcome out, gamers and gamettes, to this RGL.gg Invite Highlander playoff match taking place between Man Crush Monday and Menace Society. I am Alto, joined by Zag at my side, Dolphin behind the camera as always. Zag, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Ready to watch this playoff match. We played a lot. We talked a lot at the RGL community night on, I believe it was Friday or Saturday. And we previewed this matchup, and whereas like a lot of teams gave their opinions on who they thought would make it to the finals, and MCM, MTS, they both got votes of confidence from a lot of invite players. So it's gonna be interesting to see which of them is able to come out on top. Especially, we got 3 interesting maps here tonight.
Yeah, to run down the pick ban real quick, things led off with an MTS ban on Swiftwater, which they are the lower seed here, so they are kind of coming into this pick ban at a little bit of a disadvantage just in terms of number of picks. But banning Swiftwater makes sense. They had a very, very close match with it against Somebody Help, one of the teams that wasn't even really contending for a playoff spot, so getting that out of the way would certainly be good. MCM responded with a steal ban, which I think is interesting considering the very close match that MCM had, or no, it wasn't MCM, MTS had against Fat Peter on Steel, but Steel's always kind of a wild card, so getting it out there might not be too bad. MCM then proceeded to pick Vigil, with MTS then banning Upward. MTS picks Product, and MCM picks Asheville as the final map. Interestingly, I think it's funny that the one map not involved in this pick ban is the one that these two teams played on, that being Lakeside, where MTS took a 4-3 over them. But Zach, you want to run us through the back half of those picks?
Yeah, so with the upward ban into Double Koth for Product and Asheville, both these maps are very like DM heavy, where your star players can take it over and just make the game very easy for you. And both these teams do have a lot of those star players on their rosters that will be able to take over the game if they're on their game tonight. And I think it's interesting to see which combo especially is going to be able to come out and do a lot of damage here, because combo play is very important when you're doing these pushes. We can go ahead and run down these rosters as we're talking about the maps on them. So for MCM on Scout, we have Triple. Soldier, we have Soapy Meister. Pyro, we have BM. Demo, we have RJ. On Heavy, we have Callow. On NG, we have Spades. On Med, we have Rogue. On Sniper is Waterson. And on Spy is AGB.
Right, and then over on the side of MTS, Sandblast will be on Scout, Freelander on Soldier, Zero on Pyro, Giraffe on Demo, Eerie Heavy, Spamfest NG, Casper Med, Nixie Sniper, Shotaway on Spy, which is fairly similar to the last roster we saw out of MTS last week on Steel, where they took that narrow 2-1 over Fat Peter on Steel. But coming into this, my personal kind of interpretation of MTS is that they were a team that was very solid on Koth maps because they've got, strong individual DM. All of their players have a ton of experience, with maybe the exception of Casper, who's a bit of a up-and-comer. But then on Stopwatch, they were definitely a little bit shakier. We saw how they lost the Freezer in week 1. On Upward, they almost lost to Somebody Help, and they almost lost to Somebody Help on Swift, almost lost to Fat Peter on Steel. Compare that to their Koth performance, where they managed to upset MCM, who is considered a much stronger team than them. So MCM last picking, or MCM banning out Steel, being a map that is a little, I would say, isn't MTS's strong suit. If I'm MTS, I'm glad they ban out Steel.
Yeah, probably, because you mentioned it, but that map is just a coin flip for a lot of people. It's not the map you want to play with your season on the line for most teams. And MTS, they went out with double stopwatch bans immediately. And for MCM to match with a stopwatch ban first rotation, it definitely could have given them that draft edge, allowing MTS or MCM to get the double Koth, MTS to get the double Koth rather, but it doesn't really make that much of a difference in my mind, because in the end, you were either going to play Steel or a Koth map. And if Steel is a bigger coin flip than playing one of those Koth maps for MCM, then I'm sure they're perfectly fine with this.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that, considering the match between them was very close, too, and it wasn't like MCM went up 3-0 and then MTS solved them and ran 4 back. It went 2-0, I think 2-0 MCM, then MTS won 3 in a row, then MCM took one back, tied it up 3-3, and MTS won the last one in like a double overtime. So even though MTS won the regular season meeting on Koth, that was on Lakeside, and when you're only winning 4-3 on Lakeside, that's not enough necessarily to generalize enough to the other Koth maps. That being said, I think it's pretty telling that MTS picked Product as their Koth map over Lakeside, telling us that they feel more confident on that map. which leads me to believe that they're very confident in taking product. Where I feel like if
Yeah, if they weren't sure,
MCM
they might have ran it back on Lakeside immediately.
MCM really needs to take Vigil here. Is the energy I'm getting from this, and I think they very I shouldn't say easily, but it is very realistic for them to take Vigil here. Because product is going to be an uphill battle for them, and then I think Asheville is going to be, maybe a more
something we haven't seen
neutral
really,
spot.
really
Yeah, something thrown in. But MTS clearly likes the comfort of product, so that's a map that I think if I'm betting, I'm betting this match goes 3 halves.
All 3 maps, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assumption. We can go ahead and zoom in a bit on the Vigil match, since that is what we are starting on today with the stopwatch round 1, map 1 between these two teams. And for those who aren't aware, this is the 2nd and 3rd seed match. So winner of this faces the winner of 1st and 4th seed, which is Hood Naruto versus Fat Peter going on at the same time. So we might have updates for you guys as the night goes on. But until then, Vigil, we have starting out here, MCM versus MTS. So Vigil's a map where it's very snowbally, where if you can get like the good push that allows you to take multiple points at once, you will get a very good push. 5-minute to 6-minute halves are not the most uncommon thing here. But at the same time, if you get held over and over, you can't get your snowball going, times can stretch into the double digits, and at that point, it looks really bad for you.
We saw that snowball and that speed in the week 3 match we cast, or the Vigil match we cast. That was, week 3 Fat Peter against Freezer, where all 4 caps basically were either like 6 minutes or under, including that absolutely wild second half where Freezer managed to cap in about 3:52, I think, and then Fat Peter capped in 3:51. So those were, you could tell everyone was pushing pedal to the metal that night. Defense was not a single thought on either team's mind. So this could, even if this goes 2-1 on Vigil, it could go by very quickly. But what that means is that if we see any team, getting up one of those very solid defenses lasting into the 2 or 3 minutes, it's going to drastically throw the scales in their favor.
Yeah, and understandably, I'm going to be looking here at the scout demo duos on each of these teams. On MCM, we have Triple versus RJ, and on MTS, we have Sandblast versus Giraffe. A lot of the pushes on this map that you want to make into like Second Hill, which is notoriously one of the harder points to push, it's all in your scout and demo man to get in there and to do a lot of damage and get a lot of cleanup. And whichever combo is able to do that easier is going to have a much better time snowballing. And if a defense's scout demo combo managed to kite out and do well in the post, then we could see one of those crucial holds that buys you a lot of time, which any time can make the difference here if the team's going real fast.
On the contrary, I'm kind of looking at some of the more supporting classes here. Classes like Spy, classes like Pyro, classes like Engineer. Because Vigil is a map where, again, if you got that one advantage, you can snowball off of it. And we all know that, if a team gets their med picked or the demo, goes down or a defensive heavy gets sniped out, then things are very going to clearly shift towards the offense. But a lot of the time it can be the kind of background performance from a Pyro, from an Engineer, from a Spy, able to get those calls off a Pyro, making sure, maybe denying a gun sap that lets that hold go through. All of those things I feel like can add up if both of these teams are playing at an otherwise high level. Especially with MCM having had, as Rogue referenced in the Highlander discussion back on Friday, that MCM's had a very much shifting roster. And I think they found some stability the past few weeks. But, on people like BM, who haven't been playing all season, I don't believe, or at least not for all of it, it's definitely going to be a little bit different, because he's not going to have the experience of the full season, and I'm not even sure if he was there on Vigil Week. But the gates open, MCM starting on offense, Soapy going for some quick flank pressure right by Shotaway, actually, runs into Freelander and is going to get forced back. Other than that, no sacks yet. Interesting that, looks like MTS is holding in tunnel instead of on hill.
Yeah, the gun is in the standard spot, though. It's going to take a bit of spam with the Wrangler. Spy right now is trying to get near it. We see AGB decloaking around it, trying to get the sap. Is going to get caught, but he's backing out a bit. Shotaway did get an opening pick onto Waterson, so Sniper ad. They're trying to push this heavy off the rock here, and they are going to do that. Eerie goes down, but trades Soapy Meister for it. Both these teams are down a couple players, so it's going backwards. But RJ with the lock and load actually 2-pipe Spamfest gun, so that's actually pretty big. Spamfest full build that up, and there's AGB getting found out. So Cart, it's starting to get pushed again, Scout getting on that, and this looks like a pretty standard back out from the defense here through tunnel.
MTS seems to like tunnels a lot, as we learned on Swiftwater. They went for the tunnel hold there too. Nixie gonna peek, get Spades peeking out a little bit too far, but otherwise the cap's gonna come in. That forward hold, not actually the worst decision from them, as we see a minute cap time, which is maybe 10-15 seconds longer than you tend to see on Vigil First a lot of the time. So that 15 seconds may end up coming into matter later. But yeah,
we have Uber coming over hill right now. We see MCM taking it into the opposing team. The Uber is worse though. They're not going to find any frags. They are going to get that force off, but it's a perfect counter from MTS. Scout demo in the front lines, and no one goes down for them. Meanwhile, Watterson and AGB get caught immediately. Shot away with the 2K, getting Callow on the back end as well. There's Soapy on his bomb at the end, going to get sniped out of the air by Nixie, taking him down. And the repush uphill is here, but it's just these 4 players. There's no other pressure coming in, so they're trying to get funneled through the choke. We see Heavy standing tall, Sniper Dome, and all spamming into mouths of MCM on this hill, and the push will be stopped for now.
Yeah, really almost no purchase there found from MCM at all. Shot away, I think, the only person going down in that, whereas they lost 5 or 6 people. No, just ground again at all. The air blasts coming out of Zero were very solid. Giraffe got a ton of pressure up on hill and forced MCM back onto the choke, and didn't let them spread out, which is really key to pushing second, is getting ground on hill and being able to spread out and take that. It looks like a banner is going to be popped. That is a battalion from Freelander coming out. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he wanted to hold that actually, but it will be popped out and it has just ended, so they're not going to have that one for the defense. Both meds on 100% Uber again. We're going to see MCM take this one straight through the hill this time. Scout demo in forward. Their demo gets popped up, going to straight back around and get caught, so that's fine for them. No one's gone down quite yet, but there's RJ. Uber expiring first, going to get taken down. Sandblast cleaning up Callow as well. Big work from the MTS Scout. Going to get cleaned up in return, but there's Nixie killing BM with that headshot as he peeks out, and it's still looking very good for MTS there. MCM looking to recommit.
Yeah, big bomb out of Soapy. Almost gets Nixie, but he surfs out and lands on the fence so he doesn't crater. Massive heads-up play from Nixie right there, and MCM is getting brick-walled here.
Not a single kill
on second. They got Sandblast. They got Sandblast. That's when he chased into the side house. Right, and there is Nixie getting another kill onto RJ. Another thing, too, Nixie has been 185 this entire time. Something that, we always like our snipers to be buffed. The amount of times he's eaten a pipe or a rocket and still not even been remotely close to a danger zone is just so strong for them, because it means he's constantly applying this pressure. Spamfest, meanwhile, I like playing up on the rock formation, actually. Almost impossible to get stabbed unless
look at MCM here. They have Uber, and their combo's walking in tunnel right now. It looks like they have flank coming outside, and their combo coming out main, pushing onto the gun from below. There's Zero dropping down with those air blasts, doing a lot of down, not even taking damage either. Gun is going to go down to that lock and load, but now it's about MCM getting herded back into the tunnel. A bunch of kills coming in. Spamfest, the only defensive casualty, as the Uber does get popped up for MTS. They're getting a lot of cleanup kills on the back end, and Cart is under full control. Another perfect defense from MTS there.
That being said, Spamfest is down, so is the gun, so is Samba. Shot away as well. His triple's on a 4 streak. This pressure is actually turning into a lot of damage up from RJ, but Casper gets sniped out by Watterson. That is the big pick that they've been waiting for. We see Zero going in on Car looking to stall, but Triple will pick up the kill. Good reflect onto Freelander, and those few kills we saw from them end up being enough. Spamfest going down was a lot bigger than I think we may have expected as they finally come with the cap, but 359, not the worst time through second, but we saw Fat Peter and Freezer cap the entire map in this time the last time we were on Vigil.
Yeah, second on Vigil is all about getting those key picks, like a couple kills, and then being able to recontest and repush in with your advantages, and that's what they did there. But we'll see them going fast. MCM, they have full Uber advantage because their med didn't go down at the end. We saw Casper get sniped, and now we see MCM on the flank area trying to move their sniper and heavy into these angles. They're doing a lot of work. It's Nixie versus Watterson on this angle. There's going to be Uber popped out immediately from MCM. They're going to walk forward, try and get this opposing spawn to kick it off, and MTS don't have Uber to contest with, so they're going to have to see this space for now. They cut it out a bit. Now they're trying to focus down the heavy. He's going to be healed up for now. Soldier very low.
Rogue stepped up by Shotaway on the side. And the collapse is coming in on Cart. It doesn't get up. Sandblast lands on Cart in time for it to roll down. Rogue playing away from his team, and that's Soapy and AGB tag teaming for that one, going to equalize the Uber differences. But the important part here is that MTS did not let the Cart uphill. They did not give up third. MCM might have been playing a little bit too aggressively, and Rogue getting stabbed there meant no heals on Cart means that it doesn't get all the way up. And now they're going to have to deal with that slope again.
Yeah, MTS did a really good job kiting backwards, letting that Uber take the space that it needed to, and then repushing, recollapsing in on the players who were vulnerable. Stab from Shotaway was the big opener.
Counter snipe onto Nixie is going to open this up, though. They've got a lot of room to work with.
Yeah, they have a lot stacking car right now. Full combo is on it. Here's Eerie peeking from the side, and there's a player from Freelander coming in, doing a lot of work. But Eerie and Sandblast have gone down. In the meantime, Watterson and RJ did get traded, so there's a lot of damage on this cart. 0, 1 HP, going to get taken down with the shotgun of Spades.
Watch for Shotaway! Watch for Shotaway!
1 from Shotaway again onto Rogue, and 2 onto Callow. Great chain stab from Shotaway there, clearing that cart for his team. Soapy Meister's late bomb does not get anything as a level 3 is fully up from Spamfest, and another great defense from MTS here. AGB and not going to find the stab onto the Devilman, he wants surfs out, but good hold from MTS, and they have another full Uber to work with.
That battalions from Freelander was very, very big in just preventing a couple people from going down earlier, meaning that, you know, as long as Zero managed to live maybe a little bit longer than he could have with 30 health, which means they had to, you know, just divert more attention to him.
On the side.
Big bomb from Soapy that's going in.
Can Soapy get back?
No, he can't. Off the cliff. Zero styling on him. So he falls off the cliff.
He's on this rock. He needs to get arrowed, but they're going to get sniped by Watterson instead. So there's a pick from MCM's combo. They're again moving into the flank side while their flank players are on the cart, but that's not going to work as Spades immediately gets blown up on it. They have no one to push this cart right now, and MCM, they're still looking for a pick.
RJ's able to hit the gun with the lock and load from this distance, but he peeks out a little too far. Nixie gonna snipe him out. Uber comes in. Rogue's gonna go down as he's at a disadvantage. Very daring call from MTS to go for the flank Uber, but it'll work out. Soapy coming up from lower, maybe smelling a med pick, but goes a little bit too soon. And MTS's defense on Vigil continues to be very, very strong.
It may seem like a daring call, but I guarantee you there's a protocol for that. Nixie again sniping Watterson, great job to clear him out there, but there's a protocol right there where they saw the medic was committed way too far. Sandblast is calling for that Uber to run forward and kill that medic. So because of that, MCM just got too ahead of themselves. They didn't really have all their ducks in a row. Their cart pusher, Spades, died. They lost a player to a snipe, RJ, and they just got ran at. So MTS, great aggressive play on the defense to keep them at an Uber advantage. And they're shot away another pick onto Watterson. This offensive sniper is having a hard time getting things done.
Yeah, and ever since that initial, you know, snowball kind of failed, just very, very difficult for anyone on MCM to find any advantage. Eerie and Sandblast are both going to go down. This is the best one in a while. Zero drops in on Cart, but Rogue gets stabbed out in the back. Shot away. Finds him again. Triple on Cart. Not going to be able to get it up. Has to jump off of it. Stalling for his life. And still not dead, actually, I don't think.
Triple did a lot of work there.
Doesn't get up the hill, and that's what matters.
They have numbers advantage on MCM, though, and they have faster spawners for now, so they're going to be getting up to this cart a lot sooner. BM is trying to air blast.
Good shot by Watterson. Sandblast has been a nuisance here. Soapy going in, lands some good damage, forces out the Uber, but the cart's already up the hill. As long as MCM can keep their lives here, they should be able to cap this in the post. Triple still, oh no, finally goes down. Eerie takes him out right as he's surfing around the corner. But BM on the side here maybe could do something. Drops down on cart, will run up and tap it. The stick's dead, but the cart goes through 8 minutes through third. Yeah, I would go as far to say this is a disastrous push so far for MCM.
Yeah, and they haven't even fully taken MTS backwards. They still have their level 3 gun, and they still have a medic. Granted, we don't see Spamfest around to get it back, so it is going to go down in the end. But an Uber is kept for Casper. Both meds going to be about 15% apart, not big enough to push off of. And they're going to have their sniper, they're going to have their gun rebuilding. And they already have control of Red Room, actually. Fate calling there to try and get some presence. But we see, it looks like MCM, they want to go a bit faster. They're losing time, so they want to push through main. I'm not sure if they're aware about the players above them.
Oh, Eerie's got a great peek here, but there's too many people. The Uber comes out. Gun goes down right away. Big bomb out of Soapy coming in. Gonna try to see what he can find, but they all kited back into spawn. AGB takes out Freelander, and Zero's down as well. Sandblast getting levitated. Should go down. The beam doesn't get on him in time, but the Uber comes out from Casper.
There we go. Spy getting a flash. It's helping taking down Callow, and the collapse came in. Both teams losing a lot of players. It's about a 5v5 right now. Again, spawners are in favor of MCM. MTS does have a bit of control on the cliff here with Eerie and Shotaway, but gonna have to back that up and get some players back in. Cart is rolling up the ramp for MCM right now. They have a lot of players in main, not many other angles to work with, but they are pushing this forward. 25% ad. They might have to wait for this Uber as all the defensive players are up, but it's a good early push. They got the cart a bit of time, but now they need to capitalize off it.
Watterson going down is not very good, but Sandblast and Eerie is. So we see, Callow and Soapy are in on flank. They have a ton of pressure right here, and no one's really able to contest them. Shotaway gets sniffed out as well, and he will go down. So even though Spades is the counter, that's not very good, the offensive engineer. Battalion's coming out, but Freelander's just going to get W and 1 down. No one on his team's going to get it. Yeah, Nixie kiting into spawn with all of MTM's spawn. Yeah, Casper going down. Soapy finally finds him on one of those big bombs. Triple getting the cart up the hill. And Rogue gets a saw on Sandblast, but it will be enough as they cap in just under 10 minutes. But if you're MTS, you are feeling very, very confident right now.
As a spy player, I like to kind of keep track of what the spies are doing, how they're playing, and how much effectiveness they're having. Watching Shotaway and AGB that round was like night and day. Shotaway was always decloaking in a spot where it's checkable, but his team is always distracting, his team is always getting a lot of pressure, and he's doing it with very good timing. So Shotaway is always getting in and getting picks, and sometimes even getting out. AGB got really... His time, he was always alone. He always went in after his team died, and a lot of times when he's going for a pick, it's like people are just starting to turn around. The heavy's fisting back up to second onto the platform. He can't get the stab. He whiffs a lot. because of that, the timing being rough for him, and the difference is just visible on the scoreboard, let alone in the game. 6 points for AGB, bottom of the entire game by double. He's getting his points doubled by everyone else. Shot away 27, shot away an amazing half.
Yeah, definitely, and I mean, we had a joke that according to Rogue, Evil has been dishonorably discharged from Man Crush Monday Industries, and they refuse to comment at this time. So when I mentioned some of those support players in the beginning of the game, right, with BM maybe being one of them, AGB falls into that as well. You know, a lot of people think Spy is kind of a solitary class, but the higher up you go, that's not the case. You know, you need really good coordination with your team to be able to go in. Shadoway's been with MTS all season. AGB just now stepping in may not, have the same timings as Soapy and as Triple and as RJ, who also hasn't been playing demo the entire time. So difficult for them. Zero, though, will be the first kill of the round. RJ finding picks onto Spamfest gun. Giraffe only at 1 health. Still getting picks off. Gonna take out Triple, and Soapy goes down as well. Giraffe still alive. The ultimate survivor as MCM backs out through tunnel.
Spamfest chasing the heavy through the tunnel. Gonna be able to force him backwards, but it looks like MCM have fully gotten backwards. They're taking a bit of damage, early flares, but should be perfectly fine in the back. They have the level 3, they have their Uber, and they have their sniper scoped on this angle, so pretty standard first. The time was like 9:25, so this push, it's only 30 seconds off the clock, so half as effective as the first defense that we saw MTS use, but either way, we're just going to be moving into a standard tunnel pressure.
Yeah, and it's really on Watersing getting sniped is not very good for them right here.
Uber, yeah, the tunnel immediately. Trying to get the heavy minigun onto the sentry gun. It's going to take the entire Uber, and there's the counter in from MCM. They did get a lot of picks though on the offense, taking out Callow as well as the gun. So you see MCM, they're down 3 right now compared to MTS.
Get the side tunnel push coming through in post. Triple's going down as well, and with the gun down, Giraffe is just wreaking havoc. Rogue's going to get taken out by a mini sentry of all things, and that was a really untraditional push from MTS, but it works beautifully.
Was there, yeah, he got the gun, he caught the Uber, and it's just the side tunnel flood was where the main push came from. It was really fast and unexpected. I'm not sure if MCM were ready for that at all, and it ended up catching them completely off guard. And speaking of that, MTS are already spawn camping them.
I gotta throw a little bit of flack there on Rogue. He milked that Uber for a really long time, which is fine. Popped on spades in order to keep his engineer up, which is fine. And then just drops Callow in the middle of it when he sees the heavy right there, yeah. If Callow's still alive in that, Giraffe faces so much extra pressure, but the push coming through here, Zero and Freelander are already down. Did Rogue get sniped again? He did. He must have gotten sniped in the spawn door. So an even bigger, literally a full ad for Casper right here. Rogue needs to, they really need to force this Uber out if they want a chance of the Miracle last push.
If such an advantage of time, you just Uber here and get on
the Uber does get popped out. The Uber does get popped out, right. Callow will get caught out, but Rogue makes it back into spawn. So 7.5 minutes on last is not a desirable outcome by any means, but at least they got the Uber off. At least they got the Uber.
Yeah,
so they will have ad here.
Yeah, not a big problem for MTS having to pop that. They just wanted to get the point for sure, get that cleanup, keep their momentum going is what you're going for. And although Rogue's sitting on a 20% ad, they're going to have their gun up. Like you said, 7 minutes is a massive hill to climb here on this last defense.
Yeah, and it's really only a 10 or 20% ad for Rogue. Not even that big. The gun's going to get sapped and go down. Shadowway lived a little bit longer than may have been comfortable, but Nixie and Freelander both get picked off in the meantime. And Soapy almost finds Eerie, but misses his rocket by a little bit. Sandblast gets sniped on Karth, though, so Waterson definitely knows there's some slack here that's going to be picked up.
Casper got a soft from AGB, so now Casper's in the Uber ad, actually.
True, yeah, although it's not enough to really make this pushable off of. They'll just be even, but still, we do see MCM leaning towards the flank side defense here.
They're going to go even though they just lost their sniper and SPS. Pushing forward, gun hasn't been rebuilt yet, and it is going to force this counter Uber out. Pretty much a solo onto the defensive Delman right now. RJ trying to do some damage. A lot of players getting
Rogue gets stabbed right at the spawn. Shadowway takes him out
and Waterson too.
Wild Matador. Yeah, Waterson going down as well. Big bomb out of Freelander. It's really on BM and RJ to put out damage right now. They need to get Eerie off of this cart. But the bomb out of Soapy, he will get shot down out of the sky. RJ going down as well. Here comes in Sandblast. And the cap is going to go through in no time at all. 6 minutes and 10 seconds. I want to say that's a 3:40 time.
Less. That's 3:20, isn't it? Because it was 9. The total time was 9:28.
9:50, I thought.
Was it? Either way,
sure
that's under 4 minute time. Like that's insanely fast. That's MCM's map pick, lads.
Yeah, this is their map pick, and I mean, it wouldn't be a TF2 playoff match if the teams didn't trade their own maps. But that is really concerning because that means that MCM thought they were coming into this map in a position of strength, and they just got rolled.
They got stomped into the next week. Like that was awful for MCM in every meaning of the word. MTS just came out super strong, super aggressive. All their players were making the plays they needed to. Their game plan was better. Their snowballs were flawless. It just that doesn't even look like a. I feel like I didn't watch a playoff match just now. That was awful.
Yeah, and I mean, shot away top fragging on a payload map is not what you want to see from a
Yeah,
against the second seed team. Yeah, if it's on Koth, maybe, but on a payload map, he should not be finding this many kills this frequently. And I mean, just other than really water sitting triple, just bad stat lines across the board from MCM.
Yeah, the stats are very concerning, but at this point, you don't want to like look too much at the stats. Like you can just be like, yeah, MCM kind of just got stomped. MTS are playing phenomenally, but like, what can MCM do here, right? If from thinking from their shoes, you entered your map pick. You're technically no, they're they're the higher seed here. They got to like choose who got to pick which side of the maps. You know, they get to choose first or second team, and you come into your map pick, and that happens to you in round one. What are you thinking? Like, how do you turn this around that fast? Like, the mental must be a bit rough right away. Like, obviously, the play is not on point. It's just really rough if you're MCM after that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't. It's difficult to really come in because there's nothing you can just very quickly say, right? It's not like you can just go, oh, they need to coordinate better, because that's not actually going to really change anything. I would say they really need to start with Soapy and AGB. Have them just say, you know, have one person kind of tied to the other, have them going in together, because Freelander's staying alive, he's getting good damage off, and he's getting the banners, which is really important. Whereas Soapy's going in, and he's playing distraction, but he's playing like
he's playing feet
playing like Muma version like 0.5. Just jumping in and dying, and I mean, he got Casper one time on last.
Occasionally, but you'll broken clock will be right, you know, twice a day, but it just feels like it didn't work at all. They weren't coordinating anything. Whenever they did make a successful push happen, it just kind of happened. It just didn't look together at all. And you can look at AGB and Soapy to be more impactful in that regard. If you want to do less Sack Soldier and get Soapy on more banners, that's fine. He probably won't switch that just because playstyle. But AGB needs to step up, and the rest of the team needs to step up and shutting shot away down. Because when the enemy spy is top fragging on Vigil and second damaging, there's just a big problem. The spy, like, Shardway is a very good spy, don't get me wrong. Spy should not be able to be that effective on Vigil. It's just not a thing.
We've kind of been ignoring it, but Giraffe went 16-1.
Yeah.
And you only kill a demo man one time, and that's probably when you're spawn camping during last. It means that your combo's getting outplayed very, very strongly. And I mean, you could argue a lot of that came from that, you know, all this entire snowball started on second, right? You know, it's something that happens when you scrim payload, especially a fast map like Vigil is sometimes in scrims. You might get rolled in a time, and you can say, okay, well, this one mistake basically invalidated the entire scrim, right? You know, if your med gets forced on, like, Vigil second when you're backing out due to someone, like, getting through tunnel uncalled, you can say, okay, well, yeah, we can maybe say we shouldn't have been here, but all the problems stem from this issue. I don't know if you can say it's a case like that, but Rogue dropping Callow on second really stands out to me as, like, the turning point for their defense. Because
it's the first big mistake that got them just completely crushed.
Unconventional, right? MTS pushed out through tracks, got Irian really deep, had him kill the gun, and then rotated side tunnel, which is something that not a lot of teams are probably going to have experience dealing with that exactly. But if you have a heavy there, Giraffe can't just walk forward and cause chaos. He probably dies there, and you're still holding second, you know, with 6 minutes left on the clock, as opposed to losing last with 6 minutes left on the clock. So
now, obviously, for the defense, like when their heavy pushes out main with Uber, he gets the gun, you kill him, that's fine. You don't know what they're going to do next. That's honestly up to the classes who are either playing on cart, like a scout who could maybe drop down and try to clean up, or a soldier, or the side tunnel player, which would be the soldier as well, or your spy. Someone who can get you the information that the combo is making that rotation. Because if you're fast enough on the defense, like, you could just stuff them out of the side tunnel push. It just feels like MTS were way more together and cohesive, and MCM were kind of just missing communication and DM. It's, like we mentioned, there's no easy solution because it just felt so lacking from MCM, but it starts with good comms, where at a certain point you need to be going in together, you need to be knowing what the opposing team is doing. And if you don't know any of those things, then how are you going to, like, win if you're getting out DM'd and you're just getting out rotated? There's no hope.
Right, yeah. I mean,
if some players aren't on with their mouse and keyboard, have them at least be on with their mics.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it comes down to calling too. Like that repush there. I want to say on second, I think Soapy got caught out in tunnel through that. Maybe like he heard they were pushing through tracks out tunnel and maybe went for the flank and then got caught out when they all turned to like laser him down. So maybe that stalled out the comms. But I think actually, you know what? I think the first thing they both start with M and it's throwing me off. MCM needs to do is just calm down. Just reset, you know, wipe the slate clean. Yeah, that was a bad half, but trust that, you know, they were close with them in the regular season. They can be close here. Don't get tilted. Keep everything solid. Keep everything level, you know, and don't let that bad half start upsetting the comms, because if that happens, I think they're done.
Yeah, that's the first thing really, is if you let this affect you too much mentally, you're already out of the game. I'm sure they're veteran enough players and they know that they can win like this team. They beat this team in scrims. These teams trade maps and scrims. The regular season match was close. I'm sure they know they can do it. It's just about whether or not this being a playoff match and like the way that you just lost the first half of your round could be a bit effective against your mental, but I'm sure they can get it, keep things intact and kind of just regroup. But we're gonna have to see them do it is the important thing. Like if they don't do it, they're just gonna get snowballed on.
The good thing that MCM has to work on is Waterson performed very well and actually managed to outfrag Nixie even while his
Waterson
team was
did well,
getting...
Triple did well, and if you're Waterson and Triple, that's Scout Sniper, they're doing well, then you know that you have a baseline to work off of. Those are very important classes, and they're both very integral to what's going wrong for you. Where if Triple performed fine, right? Like 14 kills, 7 deaths, a bit less DPM than Sandblast, but that's going to happen when you get outfragged by 40. It feels like they have a baseline to work off of.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't even think Soapy was that bad. Yeah, he had a lot of deaths,
play
but
Feed Soldier, you just need to play Feed Soldier.
yeah, I mean, he wasn't like going in worthlessly. He was getting damage off. He was a huge distraction. He had multiple people looking at him a lot of the times. It's
he
just
topped up the server,
yeah.
So.
But you need AGB. You need AGB going in at that same time. You need to be capitalizing off of that. So you're not completely out of the woods here. If AGB can start finding some picks, if Waterson can keep it up, and maybe just the MCM combo can be a little bit more cohesive and get some pressure onto Giraffe, it's completely possible for a turnaround.
Yeah, we'll have to see, though. We know they're capable of doing it, but the question is, will they? And we're getting into the second half here. And MCM, they're doing something a bit more unconventional. Their gun this time is over by the log. Last round it was in the standard spot, so it's going to do a bit of distraction. It gets the kill into Sandblast, but does get taken down. There's AGB getting early frag onto 0 as well, so the defense coming out ahead in the frag trade. And they're still holding outside of tunnel, trying to get this extra 30 seconds, so all looking good for MCM so far.
Yeah. We know that it was that MTS managed to get that minute defense on first, and it looks like they're going to be doing a little bit more here.
Heavy, immediately going to take down Callow. That's a big pick.
Yeah, that stops a lot of it, and I think MCM really just needs to call the retreat here, and it looks like that's exactly what they're doing. RJ split up on Hill away from everyone else, but otherwise they will head out. That heavy's really big for defending the rocket. Ooh, AGB finds Nixie, which is a good pick for him to start things off. It means no sniper's going to be able to go for a quick pick here and stop RJ from getting stickies down, which he already has. So
okay, we gotta watch MTS
round
here,
2.
Last time they took this push through the tunnel immediately. I like the adaptation so far of MCM. They're heavily pushing inside tunnel with Pyro Heavy Soldier all buffed up, making sure they can't walk there for free. They have their Soapy Meister Black Box standing and spamming. He should be able to see the Spy's in on the gun, shot away a bit early. It is gonna get the Sap, he's gonna get taken down, and Sapper gets removed in 1 second, so a bit early. Here's the push in from Eerie.
Yeah, comes in from main again. AGB not able to find the stab. They're using on the NG again here, but they're flashing. Eerie's going to have to go down. He will get the gun, but that is it. Sandblast and Freelander dead as well to this. So the Uber not going nearly as well this time.
He's still inside tunnel with Soapy and they have a banner. That's a perfect adaptation from MCM there. Yeah. Instead of Callow getting dropped in the combo and just taking damage for free, he went and watched the side tunnel repush. It was perfect. MCM are still in the mental game. We know that for sure.
Yeah, Soapy getting a banner off. I don't think he did that all of the last half on defense because he was just dying. But shot away! Just from nowhere, 3 shots in with the revolver, and that is not good if you're MCM right here. Casper sitting on 80%, about to have Uber, knowing it's a full ad. They can afford to sit and wait. Someone on MCM is going to need to make something happen here. I'm looking at AGB, but he's in the side house right there. Waterson and NBM going down as well. Yeah. You need to give up second here. Yeah, try to force the Uber off.
They need to force the Uber, yeah. So, bomb in from Freelander onto the gun, making space, wranglet straight up, is going to get wrangled down, so that's distraction, gun gets killed. There's Shotway getting another stab onto Callow, and they didn't even force this Uber. Oh, they got 1 rocket onto Rogue.
Good serve by Casper.
Or Casper, excuse me, yeah. And Casper can keep it over. Here's a scout in, running in triple, trying to force the Uber. Not gonna get it. Another bomb in, gonna get cleaned up by Eerie, and that's really unfortunate for the side of MCM. They lost a lot of players on that commitment as well.
And they didn't get the Uber out either. Here's Shadow going for a spawn camp, but Triple's gonna take him out. Zero's already super far forward, and so is Giraffe, I think.
Spawn
is that
camping.
Yeah, they're spawn camping from multiple sides.
Again,
Waterson going in for the God shot. Not gonna find anything, but gets some good damage. Yeah.
He couldn't reset fast enough. He died to a rocket. This is, again, really bad for MCM. They're getting spawn camped, even though it's a completely different way. They actually defended second really well. It's just when Shadowway makes a play like that and wins you the point, this happens regardless. That's just the kind of map that Vigil is. One key play can just give you the snowball.
Waterson goes down to a sticky trap, maybe trying to get a God shot, knowing that something's got to happen. BM super far forward on tracks, gonna get away from Eerie. He really needs to keep his life here. Rogue on 85 now means that the Uber ad is essentially neutralized from MTS, but it's all in the last defense here.
Yeah, once again, both minds going to have Uber, MCM getting their players up, MTS waiting on their Spy and Pyro Spy. They're obviously going to want to wait for Shadowway with how much of an impact he's having, and they do have control of Red Room. Finlander's taken that. Nixie's peeking in main of the buff. About to see who can get this first pick moving forward. The cart is getting pushed up around this second to last bend. Going to be going up the ramp shortly. Going to see where MCM want to take this. Looks like they have a lot of players, or MTS, they have a lot of players stacked in main right now.
Yeah, Waterson takes out Nixie. No sniper means they can play a little bit more forward here. And then MTS isn't going to get a bad pop-off. And there they go. Giraffe popped in on delayed use out from Rogue, but a way better Uber bomb coming in. Good Wrangler will take out Freelander right before the gun goes down. But that's the only casualty MCM has. Everyone else from MCM has kept their lives. Casper keeps his life, which is good for MTS. But other than that, no advantage.
He's on fire. There you go. Waterson winning that SVS in main. Jumped on by a scout, and there's Sandblast taking out Waterson with 2 meat shots, so that's really impressive, and AGB as well going down to some stickies in the crossfire, so no pick classes for MCM right now. They're going to lose RJ! Shadowway finding an opening pick onto the enemy demo man. MTS can start dry pressuring here as neither man has Uber, and the gun isn't fully set up either. It's level 2.
Yeah, Sandblast getting card forward. Shadowway going to go in for a sap, ignores it, and actually just runs in. Gets a stab onto RJ again, I'm pretty sure. Rogue is alive, question mark? Yeah, but he's in spawn at 75. He needs to get a saw here for an Uber, if anything, as the card is getting dangerously
close.
close.
Is up. It's just a few players up for MCM. They're going to lose Waterson. Spamfest does go down. RJ, they are spamming sticks on the card. Going to get bombed in by Freelander, but Freelander gets cleaned up. Giraffe takes down AGB once again, but there's the gun. Level 1 from Spamfest, actually, doing a lot of work in main. Cleans up RJ, and they're still trying to keep off the card. The Uber is forced out from Rogue just to defend this with everything they have. It has been counter-popped out from MTS, taking a multi into Red Room to clear up Kalos, so he's been a good distraction, but it's all about this post here.
The gun will go down as they all get back in on cart, but Spamfest with the glow stick takes out BM. Eerie, though, gets stabbed out. That heavy pick's always huge in these last-minute fights. Yeah, Freelander will take out Waterson and Rogue, but he will go down. Spamfest about to get the gun up, but AGB finally activates and finds Nixie and Casper, but Giraffe coming in gets 2 kills on the det. It's just Callow, but he gets on cart. Can Giraffe take him out from the side? Sandblast, he's pinned here. Nothing he can do. And here comes a new challenger! Soapy on it now. Eerie and Zero are back in, but headshots ringing up from Waterson. The defense is still good. Freelander gets reflected, and there it is. The defense keeps up the work. I don't know what I'm saying. I've got goosebumps. The card is still not in.
From being ticked in. Gun is building, and Rogue is on the quick fix for this defense here. So they will have the Uber charge up very shortly, but it is only a quick fix compared to Casper. Stayed on stock, so advantage in the long run for MTS on that. Cart needs to roll down this hill. It's currently moving backwards. If they can keep it, but there's the
Shadowway decloaks gets the reset. That's so important. If that cart rolled down, it would have been awful. But AGB and BM both go down. Yeah. Can anyone get in on it? No, they catch Shadowway here, so he will go down. They have quick fix though. They're walking in. There's a gun here that's kind of a nuisance.
They gotta get Casper. He's gonna have Uber fully to contend with this, and they're not gonna find anything. Gun is level 2 on this defense. Cart 10 seconds from rolling back. If they could get it to roll back down, that's all they need to stall for a bit longer, but not gonna happen. Casper is on 100% Uber. Looks like MTS are lining up out the outside
Shadowway's going in. Here's the decloak. Gonna get in, gets the sap on the gun, and gets a stab on RJ. How does he keep doing it? They are gonna cap this right away.
Yeah, because there's no demo man, no stickies. He sapped the gun and killed RJ. No gun, no stickies. Immediately over.
That was...
Okay.
That was such a good defense, though, all things considered.
It was. If we're going to take out the craziness of the round, look at this in isolation. 7-minute time. Average. That was completely average round in time. But it was a bit more exciting for a number of reasons. Either way...
Yeah, this has to be enough momentum for MCM to turn this around. You hope, because otherwise, they're going to lose 2-0 here, and I don't like their chances on product if that's true. However, one thing I do want to focus on is that there was one point in that where I think it was just Rogue and RJ that were up. There were people on cart, they walked out of spawn, Rogue was only at about 75. Freelander bombed Rogue inside the spawn door instead of just looking to focus RJ. And what happened there was that RJ essentially realized that the cart is more important than his med right there, and was able to force Sandblast off of it so the cart rolled back down. Rogue, meanwhile, got back into spawn and everything was okay. If Freelander bombs RJ instead and Sandblast gets the cart up, they cap that in 4.5, 5 minutes.
It might have been a bit later, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. Knowing the proper focuses on an endgame situation is very important. A lot of the times, Medic's value goes way down when you're in those chaos pushes, so either way, 7-minute time, doable for both teams here. MCM need to take this round to keep their own map pick going. If MTS win this one, they take their opponent's map pick first in this playoff match. So with that, the gates have dropped. Freelander was the first casualty, and MCM are pushing up the left side.
Yeah, and Bamfast's gun gonna go down. Actually built up a little bit aggressively, so... Sure. Yeah, probably not too much they can do to capitalize off of it, but puts a little bit more work on the defense. Soapy, though, getting in aggro, knowing there's no gun. Huge bomb coming out. Gets one rocket onto Casper, but ooh, goes down. BM in deep, though, tries to find anything, damage, and no. Yeah. They got the gun again, though, and it's not being built up. Callow goes down, so the sacks keep coming out.
Space here, trying to spam some lock load, is going to back out once he sees that the team is done with their sacks. AGB and Callow have gone down on the offense. They're going to need to get some respawn going. Defense has a lot of players here that control the hill, so all normal so far.
I feel like that first cap came in a little bit slower than it could have been, but yeah, all of those sacks ultimately aren't really going to mean too much. Although Spamfest's gun
Waterson's 8 rockets inside
is up at level 2, yeah, and just goes down. So going for maybe a god shot there, trying to get something, but a little bit off sync with the rest of his team.
Either way, it's fine. Look at that surf back from
Uber's coming out, yeah.
Uber getting traded on the hill. It's
Spades gets caught
forward for the defensive pyro right now. Gonna get a air
Nixie stabbed out though. That's huge. Even though Freelander has this banner up, yeah. No sniper's really important. Callow coming up, and ooh, he's gonna get levitated, and there is Shadowway coming in, but Freelander goes down as well. So no more banner.
Big
lots of pressure coming out. They can get this gun.
Yeah, they have 8v6 right now in the numbers.
Casper and Snipes.
Waterson finding that body shot angle. It's gonna get sapped as well. AGB gonna revolver down the engineer here, doing a lot of damage. Will eventually get this cleanup with the help of the pyro, and that is a very good push from MCM. That's exactly what they need to keep this momentum rolling.
MCM looks like they're showing signs of life as opposed to the first half, and the W1 coming out from BM will allow him to take that corner. Knows that he doesn't have enough health to fully spawn camp, and backs up.
Oh, immediately blew up by Giraffe. BM goes down instantly. Sandblast going to chase around the corner, looking for some more chase damage, but we'll just end up going backwards. Defense has a good position here. There's a spy in. Not going to find that stab. AGB got close, but no cigar.
Soapy on the flank. Can he get Shadowway? No, will not be able to find that last rocket. Would have been good, considering how much havoc Shadowway rained on third last half. But again, full ad for MCM. It looks like they are pushing hard flank with this right here, so...
Yeah, they have about 40% ad to work with, and they probably know this, so they don't want to go fast. There is a sniper on this angle. Nixie can change the tides of this round with a shot, but he's going to get sticky back, so not going to be able to hit that right away. Waterson's also scoped on that angle now. BM goes down again early, but here's the Uber in from MCM trying to force damage onto the cart, and they clean up lower early. Eerie goes down instantly. Nixie does win the SVS, but Nixie went down immediately to a bomb from Soapy, so good forward pressure. Defense only has a mini sentry to work with. It's going to get taken down after one sticky. A lot of people stacking on the cart. This Heavy's doing a lot of work. Callow going to clean up onto Freelander. AGB as well, stabbed down Spamfest, and Spades Mini got to clean up onto enemy pyro, but Uber is popped up for the defense here. They have a lot of pressure on cart. BM is up, and he's doing a lot of air blast work, trying to get them just off the cart. AGB comes in at the end to cap it up, and that's another great push from MCM, making it work at the very end.
That was a really good focus from MCM there, because they didn't worry about taking an Uber in and getting a lot of damage out. They said, let's get an Uber in, get some picks, and use those numbers to eventually snowball it. They killed Eerie in that flank area, which was really big. They managed to get Soapy in behind, and everything worked out well for them in the end. Soapy, though, going super deep into spawn, will eventually go down to Nixie in the spawn shutter, but it forces them back. The cart, though, still pretty far back, as it's only ×2 with triple on it, but they're attempting to spawn camp, but BM goes down. Here comes the bomb out of Freelander, gets Rogue, and they overextend here, and they are going to pay for it as they lose their medic.
Yeah, you can't be that far up unless you're spawn camping both doors, because they just all go to left door and just collapse onto the offensive medic, so Rogue gonna go down without much help. Casper now on a 70% ad to work with. The cart is getting pushed up a bit further here for MCM, so they have at least that. And Waterson's gonna find an opening snipe onto Nixie, so that's good. Once they get their medic, they can start pressuring, but Casper's gonna have Uber to work with. Defense is gonna be able to pop this one out when they need to. Still minis for the defense, though.
Yeah, without the here comes in Shadow, just walks in uncalled and takes out RJ. MCM really needs to do something about him finding these picks, but here comes in Sandblast, peeking from the side, maybe looking to find something, but will get zoned off. Rogue
MCM
only on
want to force this
60%.
Uber here. MCM want to force this Uber and kite backwards with Rogue here. That's their goal. They're trying to push the card a bit further. Spades gets cleaned up off it. They're heavy gonna have to eat a sandwich around the corner, needs to get that health back. And it looks like Rogue is just gonna hold back, get the Uber. They didn't get the force they wanted. They're just gonna wait for an even Uber push.
Hallow gets sniped trying to leave flank though, which is gonna put that combo off sync. As with a little bit more than 2 minutes left, you got to figure MCM really only has 2 real Ubers here coming out, and with no advantages to speak of right now, they're going to need something to go in their favor.
Yeah, sticks on the cart, heavy in the side. MTS have a really good split setup right here with their heavy soldier with the banner up on the left area, the
Motioning
flank area.
flank.
Yeah, they're going to Uber straight into it. They're going to push this heavy and soldier back. A lot of damage being put forward on the stickies. They are going to get the kills onto AGB and Watersend. BM actually going to take him down. Rogue as well, dropping draft sticky bombs, doing a lot of work and cleaning up. There's the banner in from Freelander once again. They're going to push everyone off the cart. That's a flawless defense from MTS, kiting out that early Uber on flank perfectly, and they're not going to lose a single player.
Spades very nearly got that card all the way up the ramp, which would have been fine if they were able to do that, but not going to happen. Still though, Waterson finding Sandblast.
Quick scope them on this flank.
Little picks like this can always start that snowball into something greater, and with only a minute and a half left, MCM does not have time to be sitting around here.
Yeah, gun is level 3 is a big thing here, and stickies are still on the cart. Flank control is once again had by Erie's 450 up on this box, and without Uber to displace him, he's going to be a menace here into the post. AGP's going in, so he's going to have to find the stab. He is going to get turned around, and that's unfortunate. RJ going down as well on the front line. Stickies, there's Spamfest with the glow stick, taking out triple. Shot away in the
Cart
back line,
doesn't go
taking out
up!
Spades. Again, Cart not going to roll up the hill entirely. Good thing Rogue got out with Uber, so Rogue's going to have 50%, Casper on 90. Rogue needs to charge it up. MCM will have one more chance here.
They've gotten it up to the point where it looked like it was about to crest that hill and then fell down immediately after so many times. Shotaway keeps finding these D-cloaks uncalled, and it's just... It's really been that, you know, it's a thorn in their side right now, but it'll become a nail in the coffin if they're unable to get it on this last push.
On, like next to her feet for me. It's pretty funny to watch her move that sentry gun around, but it's a level 2 gun. It's on one of the older spots on the right side, so might be distracting. Here's the Uber straight in through main for MCM. This is their last Uber.
RJ gets levitated and it goes down, but Casper
Soapy 2
drops!
rockets onto Casper, gonna drop that medic. That's the key pick they needed. Soapy finds it. They're trying to collapse onto the card here. It's just almost up the hill. It doesn't get there. They're only the medic operator. Rogue trying to get this up. Callow is in the spawn. If he can get an arrow, they can do this.
He gets it up, the glue comes out, and it's not going to be enough. 10 seconds left! Disaster for MTS!
That was insane. It was just Callow and Rogue up at the very end. Callow was pushing the enemy spawn. It had to be Rogue to get that cart up the hill. The combat medic dips and dodges on it, dodges that enemy minigun spam, and with that, MCM take the round with 5 seconds left on the clock, evening up map 1.
Wow, that was if any single domino in that chain did not fall in the exact perfect angle, we're already on product right now.
Perfect. Soapmeister got a flash in through main, double synced onto Casper's head, dropped.
Which is almost that if that doesn't happen, Spamfest banished RJ to the Shadow Realm on that Uber. Immediately flicked to him with that Wrangler and levitated him against the top of that dome. So RJ was able to did nothing in that fight. But that drop ends up being enough. And whenever you get a call like that too, you know everyone on your team is like, all right, here it is. Let's go. Let's do this. It's time. When you have that confidence, you can make these plays happen. You know Rogue's adrenaline is still probably pumping from just being on that card, having like 2 people shooting at him, knowing that if he gets off of it or dies, it's over. So
yeah,
MCM
that was crazy.
digging deep, finds it deep within themselves to pull this one out, and now we're on the overtime round, and you got to imagine momentum's in their favor now.
Yeah, they definitely got some hype in their camp after that one. I guarantee Rogue is screaming his head off. He's dipping on that card, he's crouch spamming on the card, trying to dodge making. I guarantee he was screaming his lungs off in comms there. That was probably a really fun environment to be on, and closing out that round in that fashion, you're gonna get a bit of hype in your team going.
And even Erie, knowing that card defense is important enough, he pulls out the Gru just to try to stall.
Yeah, if he can stall for like 2 more seconds, then they can get on that.
Maybe another spawn comes up, yeah, and they can stall it. But everything ends up going MCM's favor right there. So we will have more Vigil left on this night. Important to note too that both teams who started on defense have ended up winning.
We always like to keep track of those, even though they really don't mean much.
Right, it doesn't mean a whole lot, but at the same time, sometimes you can see it in things like this where, you know, I imagine if the sides are reversed here, MCM doesn't pull that out because they don't have that desperation.
Yeah, it would have probably been a slower push, but either way, things dominance fall as they do for a reason. So that's where we stand right now. 1-1 MTS versus MCM map 1 Vigil of this playoffs match. We're going to the third tiebreaker round 4. We have stats on your screen right now. I'm gonna go actually bring those up because from what I saw, it was a tale of two halves for AGB and Soapymeister, where they both didn't perform very well first half at all. AGB did phenomenally in that second half. Shotaway kept up the pace, but AGB actually rose to match him. So that was where they got a lot of key plays from.
Yeah, just really important for him to get in there. He was finding picks. They were managing to keep Nixie down, and then Soapy's big drop at the end really, kind of is the redemption arc that he needed there.
Yeah, both
Able to
spies
pull
on
that
14
out.
kills. Nixie there underperforming a bit compared to last round. 166 DPM. Even if he's not getting the kills, at least do some damage, but unfortunately, bottom DPM's his team, even below the Pyro, so Nixie not having the best half that round.
Yeah, Giraffe, though, still going strong for MTS. With a 16-1 the first half and a 16-4 now, he's on a combined 32-5, and he's managed to lose a half, which feels criminal.
Yeah, Giraffe's playing phenomenally.
Right, if you're MTS right now, you're not super worried, I don't think. Even though MCM is going to be having some momentum here, everyone on your team has shown that they can perform right now. You have a demo man who's popping off.
Yeah, and
they still outfragged them. They still outfragged them here.
Yeah, by 2. It was close. Definitely better than 40. That was in the first half. But yeah, a lot of players rising up to kind of match the counterparts. This is what a round versus these teams should look like. The first round, it felt like an anomaly where, yeah, one team completely crushed the other. These teams are pretty similar in skill. Everything we've seen this season in scrims and their official match and so far kind of states that these teams are very close in skill. So that round, I think that's a lot more speaks to the case of what we're looking at here.
Yeah, I mean, if we can see Nixie step it up a bit and maybe RJ step it up a bit, then this is going to be a full on Super Saiyan 3 air battle between these two teams for the last half. And again, if you're MCM though, you really need this because you can't let MTS take a lead going into double Koth, I don't think.
Yeah, and that's the thing for MTS as well, is even if you drop that round, yeah, Sandbox will probably go, how'd we lose that, guys? Draft's probably guys, I'm 32-5, what are we doing? They're still okay, this is their map, it's payload. We're the Koth team, this is fine. We're trolling them, we're rolling them on their own map, potentially. We have a chance to beat them on their own map. Once we get to Koth, we'll be fine, but if they could get this on the board, it would mean a lot for for kind of just taking the map before the game before it ends.
Yeah, so not surprising that we're seeing such a long kind of in-between, since this really is important. The winner of this will move into the upper bracket finals and is guaranteed placement. So
yeah, top 3 if you win one match here.
Super, super important right now. So Zag, who I'm gonna throw it to you here. Who do you think is gonna be Who do you think is going to win this half, and who's going to be the most important, or what's going to be the reason behind it? Normally, what player?
It's so hard to see always because there's so many factors that would go into it. I think that MTS are going to have another Shotaway pop-off round personally, because a lot of the times with Highlander and a spy popping off, what happens is first round spy top frags, you guys are like, okay, we need to focus the spy. Next round, you focus the spy a lot more. You win the round, you're like, oh, nice, we go into it, and then they kind of forget, kind of lapse a bit. I think Shotaway has the chance to just pop off here again and win it for his team.
I'm going to agree with that. My mind was revolving around the Shotaway factor, and especially it's either going to be Shotaway popping off, or it's going to be people like BM and Callow shutting him down. If MCM's able to shut down Shotaway this half, I think they've got a pretty realistic chance to take this. But if he's even anything like he was in the first half, then MTS is going to go into product with a lead.
Yeah, and granted, another easy answer could just be Giraffe, because he's been crushing it all night, and RJ in comparison has been having a lot weaker performance. So obviously Giraffe, if he just comes through with any of the same level of play he's been doing, he's going to be a massive factor.
That being said, we have only 20 seconds left in setup. So Zag says MTS. I'm going to go ahead and say MCM here. I want to see them pull it out. Yeah, gotta create some tension on the desk. I think that MCM is going to pull it out, and they're going to keep some momentum going into product, but we'll talk about that when we get there.
Yeah, we got a whole round of Vigil ahead of us. With that, we're going to get the round underway. Gates have dropped. We're going to see a lot of players funnel into the flank area like they've been doing here. It is called out. They have a spy there. Seeing it. Shotaway sees it all. And there's Watterson opening it up with a snipe onto Freelander. Gets cheesed by Eerie around that corner. Heavy going to be able to fist his way out, so that's funny. But everything going as normal so far.
Yeah, a lot of like side flank pressure coming here. Eerie rotating over to the side as well, so MTS remaining aggressive with these first point defenses. They are going to go.
Now. He's going to lit on fire actually, so they know he's there. Gonna try to revolver down this NG. Spamfest goes down actually, so NG gonna be dead immediately, and the gun is still up. It's still forward, but it probably will get taken out before Spamfest can get back.
Oh, Giraffe goes down. Waterson running in, finds the quickscope on,
he's
and
still
that's
going.
massive. Yeah, he's going right in, but he's going to run into Eerie and just get shredded.
The gun is doing actually some pressure, and Spamfest did actually respawn. Rescue Rangers it back, so gun is going to be up for the defense here.
Yeah, Giraffe as well, you know, potentially just as important. Not enough real hyper aggro coming out there, but yeah, Uber comes out fast. They've got good ground on this too.
Yeah, but unfortunately, have to be kited back. This is what you would normally expect. As long as they don't drop any players, they can do a repush in just a little bit. Callow does go down very low, and it will die in the end shot of his revolver. So big pick with that heavy going down. Freelander going to take down Spades as well. Eerie doing some cleanup on these Sackers. Sap is in, but a bit late for AGB. Gets taken down by Eerie on the back line. And MSAM, they're still trying to force this with what players they have left. They have a scout on the shed here. Will do a lot of work. Triple takes down Giraffe from that angle, so really big pick there. Right now, RGL trying to find an angle to spam this gun out, but there's a lot of taken out. Triple on this shed is a menace. He takes down Eerie as well and helps get that shot away kill on that side. Callow going to take down Freelander on his rebomb. There's still more sacks coming in. The side tunnel presence is in here from Callow, and AGB is in the backline here. This gun is the main thing keeping them back. If this goes down, it could be big, but Nixie 2 kills onto BM and RJ. AGB at least finds him afterwards, but not before he gets those key kills, and with that, the defense will have some time to stabilize here. Big defense by Nixie there, but more sacks in.
Yeah, they're keeping up the aggression here. Soapy gonna go keep going for these massive high bombs, trying to get damage in it, whatever the cost. Will manage to escape with his life, and Rogue's got Uber again.
Yeah, it's been a very long push, almost non-stop action. We see BM on the cart, pushes it a bit further, gets out with that. And there's an Uber trade again coming in from Hill. Gonna immediately force, Soldier gets blown way back. Spy on the engineer right now for Spamfest. Gonna get taken down is AGB. RJ and Cal have dropped as well in the front line. The defense is winning this frontline battle.
Rogue gets sniped. Nixie
finding that backline snipe onto Rogue from the hill. So great position from him to find that one in post. Soapy is still in the back here. He's very low HP. Gonna get taken out by Eerie. And after that very, very long and drawn exchange that took 2 Ubers, we have a defense stabilization here for MTS.
Tragic for AGB there, because he might have had a pick onto Nixie, but right as he went in, he was coordinating with Soapy, as you know we said he should, but Soapy flies over Nixie's head, so Nixie turns around and mid-stab animation.
That feels so bad.
And if that doesn't happen, Rogue might have lived there, so unfortunate occurrences there, you know, maybe just a step away from that being a successful push, but ultimately MTS maintains the hold. Nixie finding water. Soapy in another big bomb, pops Casper up, he doesn't have Uber, he's gonna be forced to crater. No! He lands on the pack! Oh, what a great surf by Casper.
And unfortunately, they did lose Spamfest there, but to keep your medic is exactly what they needed to at least try here. Their gun is gone, so luckily they're going to want to try and back out with as much as they can. AGB is still in the backline. If he finds a stab here, this could be big. Right now we see MCM again going for triple on the shed. Has done a lot of work so far. Watson is the first captain. He's on the bomb as the Ubers get traded out. RJ and Shotaway get killed by the opposing heavies first, and AGB also goes down. Now it's about the post banner from Freelander. Gets that one off, but Zero goes down to the scattergun of triple draft. Gets a kill onto Cow, and BM gets taken as well. This defense has stayed up even with there being no sentry gun, and they're going to keep defending this one. MTS have done a lot of work here.
They really need to get this soon if they want to, you know, have a realistic shot at this. Considering it's probably already been almost 4 minutes. So, but MTS super far forward on Hill right there. We even see, I guess with Waterson having just gone down, they're free to peek that, but super forward positioning, and Eerie's gonna get caught out.
He dropped out in front of tunnel, looks like, and got picked out, so that's some room for MCM to walk forward here. They're gonna look to spam over the top of the hill with some hit scan. They have Callow inside tunnel as well, so Spades has gone down, but there's a lot of presence here. They're gonna air blast them back, and Zero gets that kill onto Callow from the side area. There's Shotaway in the background, gonna get the kill onto Watson as well with that stab. Gets killed for the trouble, but that's a big pick to give his team some space to work with.
Soapy went from lower tracks tunnel and bombed over to side tunnel to kill Freelander, and then immediately died. But Spamfest putting her gun on cart right as the Uber comes out. Casper uses as well, and it's chaos on this point. RJ doing what he can, but he's going to get launched out. Will keep his life. Almost no frags there. I think Spade's really the only one going down, but BM and RJ go down in short order. Freelander and Eerie are going to be the next ones to go down. Callow on cart has so much pressure here, and it's going to be a cap.
Yep, Callow with a 3k there, Freelander, and getting the kill onto Casper. The enemy medic frag is so important, and MCM are finding on this cap. 5 minutes, it's not looking the best, but they will have Uber advantage to work with here. So if they can turn this third point into a snowball, it's still doable. And they have a numbers advantage here. They're not going to be able to get the spawn camp off, but they have good positioning to work
with. BM is forward, and I don't know if he's going to be able to live there. No, Maddie's going to pack and live, but RJ down. Yeah, shot away. Can he find anything in on the team? No, Rogue takes a little bit of damage, but not too much. But Zero and Eerie both go down right away. Sophie and Callow are going to find a ton of frags here. So 3 down
and Waterson. That's not pushing classes right now. They're going to have to wait for this card
Huge
to
ad for Rogue, though. Casper went down in that post fight there, so this will be full ad when they use it. They really need to get this.
Posted here on the angle. He's going to look to find some important pick here. He's on the cart looking for something as no one's picking out yet. And they're going to Uber BM in. Going to take primary Uber here. RJ going to come in with some support. It's about sticking these people in the spawn. There's a lot of people.
Shadowway gets 2 on cart, but it's not going to be enough. That maybe could have been defendable, but the Pyro Uber there, really good call. You don't need any frags to cap third.
AGB took down Nixie right before he had a chance to hit a God shot, so that's very important there. They're going to keep their med here. Casper 100% Uber as they didn't have a chance to pop to defend here, but Rogue are going to have to wait a bit as well.
We saw that winning time for them was just under 7 minutes here, so they really need to get it this pick or this push early if they want to have a legitimate shot, I think.
Yeah, cart's moving around the bend, it'll be fine. By the time they get Uber for Rogue, the cart will be in position where they're fine to push in. We see AGB getting in position early. Their defense is holding on the left side here, defensive right, and they're going to have a banner popped out immediately for Freelander, so there's some room to work with. Nixie going to peek with that headshot immunity and take down Waterson. There's Zero taking down AGB as well, so no pick classes for MTS to worry about.
Yeah, Rocket's coming out onto cart from Freelander, and they will find them quickly there.
On from Soapy onto Sandblast, gonna make him turn around.
Good Rocket coming out of him there, gets some space back for his team, but it looks like MCM is still very far back. Even though they have this Uber, they know that they need an advantage or something if they want it.
So now it looks like MCM with their Uber. They're going to kind of line up in main here. They have their sniper peeking it. They have a couple people in red room. They're going to go here. Sophie taking a flash. RJ following right up. Gun going to take it out immediately. Doesn't even get wrangled. They're going to have a kill onto Giraffe. And AGB finding that enemy demo man is so big for Carton now. It's a solo Uber onto Sandblast right now, trying to find anything. Shot away. Going to get caught. Knife melted. Not finding any picks. It's an even numbers advantage right now. But the heavy coming out of red room is big for the side of MCM. They have a lot of cart presence. It almost makes it up the hill. Not quite. And there's the cleanup from Eerie taking down Callow on that angle. Cart doesn't make it up. That's so unfortunate for MCM. They're going to get their met out alive, but that's a good hold for MTS.
MCM did have some preliminary picks there, but Casper didn't have to pop Uber until Rogue's already faded. Yeah, another banner. Is that being held by Freelander?
No, it just wore off. He had it for a post, so help them keep a lot of players healthy. Now we're going to be resetting here. Both lines on 70%. Another bomb in from RJ and Soapy trying to find something. And the distraction will allow AGB to get Giraffe once again, so that's a pick. But on the front line, Eerie at 3K.
They're going to get the card up the ramp, maybe. It's so close. They can kill Shotaway. Oh, is it up? I'm not sure.
No! Pyro Air Blast was too strong there, and they're not going to quite get that up in time. That's fine. They got their picks. They shot their shot. They're going to have Uber here in a second. This is the push if you're MCM that needs to work.
Yeah, you need it. Rogue's going to use in here. The gun's low, and it should go down soon. Yeah, it does go down, but no frags really from anyone yet so far. Way better Uber on the defensive side, though. And RGM, or MCM, and yeah, they lose their combo there pretty much. No, only Zero. Zero, the only counter frag right there. As flank is still maintained by them, and that Uber is not very strong out of MCF.
In comparison to their first push through main, where they had the heavy, they had the soldier ready, they had people coming out of red room, they had some pressure from window, that was just rushed from MCM. They didn't have any of their players set up in the positions they want them to, and it's kind of funneled all into main and all died. I know a lot of people will tell you that main push is not the best, and that's when it doesn't look very good, is when you just funnel everyone through and they don't get anything done.
It is worth noting, too, that despite how great that last round was, it happened off of a drop. That is not something that you want to rely on in these pushes, as we see another sack wave coming out, but Casper only taking about 40 damage from that. Eerie will get sniped out, so maybe that is an opening. The card comes up! Everyone on MTS just gave it up!
You have 8 alive! You have 8 alive! What are you doing? Soapy Meister is question marking them in chat.
Yeah, that's the one downside of that far right hold, is that if you're not getting good comms on cart, you can just outright lose like that. The mental beef coming out of MTS just lets them cap it with 8 alive, so...
Yeah, Eerie gets sniped, and all of a sudden no one's ready to go on cart. So
it's
I guess...
still a good defense, all things considered, right? 9 minutes is fine.
MTS, fantastic defense. 9 minutes definitely puts them in position to win this map, which is their opponent's map. All things considered, they're in a very good spot here. But come on, you have 8 alive. I'm gonna be mad about
Someone's got to walk a little bit closer.
Even if they win this map, I'm still gonna be mad about that.
Yeah, it was sloppy. And I mean, depending on how this round turns out, that sloppiness might end up being, what gives...
What if they lose by 10 seconds, like...
MCM this map, but still 9 minutes to push offense is... MTS has pushed in 7 minutes, I want to say.
Yeah,
about 7 minutes, and in 3:40. So history's in their favor right now. So, and MCM really, it needs to start with the second defense. You can't drop Callow, you can't let Rogue get revolvered through Shutter. You need to be playing better and just protecting your key classes here.
Yeah, the onus is on MCM actually to put up a stronger performance than they've been doing. So MTS, they're in good position to take this map. And really, it's going to be interesting to see who is able to make plays coming out here. Soapy going to have to jump back very low. Ends up pogoing Rocket back onto the pack. Will keep his life. And now the side presence is in. AGB goes in early, gets spotted out. Going to have to run away for his life. He's going to get caught as well, so Spy goes down for the defense. Freelander's in.
Jump out by Freelander, yeah! Can he find anything? Oh, he goes for...
Waterson.
Yeah, Waterson lands the headshot.
Callow's stuck here. He's not getting out.
Yeah, no, he's going down. You kind of accept that, I think, at that point, just so that no one else can chase out. But other than Callow, who's spawning up in 7, the rest of the defense is set up. Now only time will tell. Lots of pressure over towards side tunnel right now, which we saw working for a little bit, but he gets sniped out right away. Yeah.
No banner for the defense here as Soapy goes down early, and a lot of players who drop down. With that soldier down, they're going to funnel some hit scan classes through, trying to make some presence. Their scout gets lit on fire. They will back up for now, but it's about where MTS want to take this Uber. They've done tunnel Ubers a lot, and looks like they want to go through a main tunnel Uber again. Erie's taking it onto the gun. It gets sapped as well, so it gets killed immediately. Shotaway's doing some work. Counter Uber gets popped from MTS here on the front. MCM doing their best to kite out. They're going to find kills in the Freelander. Zero Erie as well. Now it's about the repush from side tunnel. They have Soapy Meister watching it. Pipe in, going to take the engineer very low, and there's a collapse in here from the back. The Pyro actually. BM doing a lot of work. 1 HP for Casper. Will he burn out? Will end up keeping his life for now, but that's a good hold from MCM. They're going to kill Giraffe again on this back out. Very clutch at the end. They know exactly what MTS want to do with this push here.
That's kind of how you feel the tunnel push should go. There's a reason why it isn't really hard meta like that, because you're basically sacking your heavy for the gun, and unless you can manage to have him get the gun and someone else, you're just giving up a member for, a sentry gun, which isn't very likely to win you there, especially when you're pushing from low ground.
You see, AGB decloaking, gonna get
Battalion's coming out. Look how aggressive all of MCM is getting.
Yep, Erie and Zero, the first counter. Look at the card though, it's almost Sandblast almost got it single-handedly up to the point, so that's gonna be very good for MTS in the long run. They're gonna have Uber to work with here once they get these spawners up. It's all about getting this card time. They need to watch out for MCM. Right now, if this card gets tapped in by a scout or a spy, that'd be a very, very bad. They need to get some more time on the second point here.
Yeah, and I mean, other than that, their defense has looked really good so far. Cart starts rolling back in 3 seconds, and it doesn't look like Shadowway's really anywhere near. They should be fine. He will sneak through on the side. Callow almost dead, yeah.
Burning.
He will be saved
there.
But Shadowway
taking this advantage to go up through tunnel. They're going to try and get directly onto Cart since it is so far up. Uber out of tunnel. They're going to kills onto Sandblast early on. Shadowway as well going down.
Zero's just air blasting them off.
Yeah, Zero doing a lot of work on this power, but there's not enough people on the cart. We can see Erie walking on, and they are just going to walk on and get the cap, so MCM going to have to back off of that one. Not enough space to work with after that cart got so far up, and BM AGB were the late spawners. They will be up in about 7 seconds here. Both meds going to be 30% Uber for this push, so there's some time to work with on either side, but MTS looking good so far.
Yeah, I've been liking the teams just opting to take Pyro Ubers when they know that the cart space is more important than the actual frags there. Because you get the cap, and defense is going to be forced to back up. Anyway, here's the bomb coming out of Freelander. Rogue's not really aware, but good reflex from BM to protect his medic. And MTS getting a little bit aggressive, but...
Drop one sticky will take it down, and he will end up getting the kill onto that gun in 1 second. There it is, Pipe taking it down. Looks like numbers advantage is in for MCM by 1. The spawners will be in here, but a lot of work being done.
Card. It's almost up the hill.
Yeah, there's the Pyro dropping down. Gets taken down to 1 HP. BM will keep his life. Spamfest gets revolver down by AGB, so that Wrangle Mini no longer an issue. And they have their heavy right now on the side. You can see Callow doing some work on this heavy area with the scout. And the cart did not make it up the hill, so defense has stabilized. Both teams have Uber to work with here.
Shotaway, though, might be finding a decloak soon. Decloak's all the way back behind third, but Waterson rotating away from a potential decloak spot. So Uber's going to come out right here. Sap on the gun. Will be enough to take it out, but the Uber comes out onto Giraffe or RJ and BM.
Oh, they're getting separated.
And yeah, they are, but they need to get, they do blast them off the cart, so the cart rolls back down. That'll give them enough time to reset this temporarily, but the frags are going all MTS's favor. Lots of flank pressure coming in from Erie and the rest of the flank.
Oh, they have to leave.
Cart's going to climb in. Yeah, they're going to be forced for a 5-minute last hold.
Yeah, at least they get 6 of their players out alive. Spy chasing in with the scout. Oh, Sandblast eats one to the head. But it will be just a consolation for MCM as now they're backed all the way into their last. Opposing sniper peeking in main right now. There's a lot of threat right now if you're MTS. You can look forward. You can try to find some picks while this gun is only level 1. And there's Nixie peeking in and finding the opener onto Waterson.
Yeah, big kill out onto the sniper if they want to try to roll this. Freelander's going to jump in, but gets denied, sent into the corner of shame. Will
that's
go
the
down.
one I'm looking for.
Big jump out of Soapy, finds Nixie, almost gets out too, but
Look at AGB
equalizing
in
the
this
sniper is
window.
not the worst call there, even though he will be on a
AGB
longer
just
spawn.
tricked Eerie. I'm pretty sure he just walked in thinking he was part of his team, but either way, we will be looking for this cart pressure right now. Casper on 100%, Rogue only on 80, so they could make something work, but it looks like they're not going to go with their heavies respawning, so both teams going to have Uber to work with.
Yeah, 4 minutes on the clock is doable, but still, again, unlikely. So MTS is going to have a number of chances here to do anything, and right now, MCM just needs to not give them any openings. They can't let Shadowway find anything, and it looks like they will.
He can't get a sap yet.
Yeah,
We'll
barely
take
gets
6
it off
stickies
at
to
the
kill that
end.
gun. Oh, but
Rogue
RJ
hasn't
gets
even
sniped
need to use
immediately.
Yeah, they're
Rogue
going to drop RJ, but other than that, Uber's so much better.
It's just a solo on Sandblast.
AGB from Casper in the backline too with the revolver, so that's going to be an Uber ad now in the favor of MCM.
Yeah, but they are down players.
Yeah, as long as they can keep it going. Ooh, big snipe out of Waterson onto Nixie. Sandblast is edging Carter though, but RJ should be spawning soon. He comes back in. Sandblast and Zero are going to go down. Eerie going to be the next one. Cart gets up to the base of the rim, but no further. So another Uber in the books for MCM. This time they're going to have a 30% ad too. They can keep this up. Maybe a possibility.
Yeah, importantly, the cart does not make it up that hill, so it still has the hardest part of this last push to go. It's going to roll back in 10 seconds as well, so they could get a bit more time on the clock in their favor with that one. But right now, it's going to be about Casper building this Uber. Shadowway's in on the flank area. Cart does get tapped for a second. Not going to roll back. Any openings for MTS are exactly what they need here. Shadowway decloaking, going to look to find this heavy turnaround on unfortunate timing.
Oh, but Giraffe finds Waterson with some long-range pipes, so that is important. No sniper. Triple goes down as well. Sandblast going to be the trade. Freelander gets shot out of the air, so people are trading their lives very quickly here. The Wrangler doing a lot of work right here from Spades. As Eerie trapped
bad
that's
so bad for MCM, losing your NG. That gun is not long for this world. One charge body shot will take it down, as the Sapper instead is what they use. Uber in through main here, trying to focus on Cali, but good flash to keep their heavy alive here. Bomb in from the side, Freelander trying to get some work done. Shadowway gets the stab onto Waterson. Nixie goes down in trade. A lot of numbers advantage for MTS here. They just need to get these players off the card. Zero and Nixie do go down as well as Shadowway. It's about keeping these key players alive here. NG is back up with mini sentries, but they have no spam classes. A lot of people on the cart. Entire combo is up for MTS. It's just BM left, just AGB left, and they're not going to make it work. That is the cap up for MTS, and they're going to take map 1.
Freelander was the hero of that, even though Callow got the flash Callow got the flash from Rogue. In the end there, he was not able to end up killing Freelander, who took control of that flank area, rained down a bunch of rockets, got healed up, and went in for another jump that ended up wiping the cart. So, after all the crazy back and forths, even though MCM managed to shape up a little bit in the later rounds, we will still see the 2-1 coming out from MTS. They will take the lead going into Vigil, or Product, excuse me.
Yeah, and that's exactly the start you want for MTS. This is not your map. This is the map pick of MCM here. Much more comfortable on payload in comparison to MTS. So to get that 1-0 lead means you have 2 chances on a game type you favor to kind of close out here. And their pick is up next. This is Product. This is a map they're the most comfortable on. Looking
at the stats real quick, which we've got up on screen, the snipers are reversed from the last half. Waterson now the one with 20 deaths and, single-digit kills, whereas Nixie sitting on a 19 and 6. They basically swapped roles there. And that ended up being enough. I mean, if your sniper and Giraffe, not as ridiculous of a KD as he has in the previous rounds, but still significantly better than RJ's. And just when you've got your demo working and when you've got your sniper working, it's very difficult to lose.
Sandblast as well did a ton of work there. 17 kills, cleaned up a lot of damage. Triple only sitting on 8 and only half the DPM as Sandblast. Sandblast double triples damage in that half. Yeah, but stats are on your screen.
You've got 1.5x the deaths, but double the frags and double the damage. So
yeah,
actually he's doing a lot more. And Scout's not a class like Sniper or in Sniper, and even Spy. You could argue, right? There is value in having low deaths. On Payload Scout,
that's on Scout too.
Payload Scout though, I don't necessarily think that's true. If Triple's with that Triple KD, I think suggests that he might be baiting a little bit too hard.
Well, that's just the way Triple plays. Triple plays like on a leash with his combo. Like they like to pick him with the front line of his combo. If his combo's not dying, he's probably not dying. That's just how they play. Sandblast a lot more willing to go run in and take the kills to get some damage in wherever he can find it, and it does manifest itself in the stats. But either way, what we have is what we have. So 2-0 start.
Speaking of what we have an update on the other playoff match for you guys. That is Hood Naruto, the first seed, up against Freezer. First map was 2-1 on Swiftwater in favor of Hood Naruto. Freezer having basically we saw a very similar. I'd say we saw a very similar storyline to what we saw here. Hood took the first half pretty solidly. Freezer had a kind of miraculous comeback cap with 10 seconds left in the second half to even it up, and then Hood went back and took the third half pretty simply there. And both of these matches will be moving on to product. So MTS, the lower seed here, technically in the lead in this one, whereas Hood Naruto, not to too many people's surprise, I don't think, moving in to product of the lead as well.
What is surprising is the fact that Freezer even got around, because if we're thinking these two teams right here in front of us, MTS and MCM, are pretty even, Hood Naruto and Freezer are the it's not Freezer, that's Fat Peter.
Oh, Fat Peter, yeah, you're right, my bad.
We're gonna have to talk with Dolphin for giving us the wrong team name, but
just I'm reading the cards I've been given. Sorry to them. But that being said, actually, that doesn't surprise me too much, because we do know that apparently the Swiftwater match between the two teams was pretty close. I think that's what Catalyst and Sand were telling us during the Highlander Community Night. So they're saying that even though it was a 2-0, the halves were pretty close. So I guess we see that there. But moving on to product, I'm pretty sure that would mean that it's... It would be, because the first map is the upper seeds, the second map is the lower seeds.
I'm pretty sure that was Hood Naruto's map too, isn't it? Because I'm pretty sure I heard Fallen tell me that Fat Peter chose product, and he was upset because that means that they need him to carry.
Right, but, I remember we were talking about that, but we were talking about how both teams felt like they picked each other's maps. Where you think about, if that Swift was pretty close between the two, then why is Hood Naruto picking Swiftwater? So yeah, if Fallen can step up and really put out a lot of work in shutting down Lenny, then I think you could see that potentially go over to Fat Peter. If him and Dog can, kind of be the dynamic duo that we've seen them be.
Who knows? It'd be fun, though. I think what it really does really sets up a Clash of Titans in the lower bracket game as well as the upper bracket game, because Fat Peter, a very good team in their own right, they could have easily been in this match if some things went more towards their favor in the regular season. But yeah, they will have a very playable match for third and fourth.
Yeah, so even after tonight, we will still see some very, very good matches coming into tonight. But yeah, moving on to product, the thing I want to focus on right away is the snipers, because we've seen them flip-flop half to half. The first half, they were pretty even. The second half, Waterson dominated. The third half, Nixie dominated. And, well, maybe a little bit reductionist. If we see second half Waterson show up, I can see MCM taking this map.
Yeah, it kind of just goes down to which players you think are going to hit their shots a lot in product, where yes, it is a very DM heavy map. There does need to be coordination in your play, but the sniper who hits more, the scout who hits more, demo who hits more, a lot of the times you'll find out that player will just win the game for their team.
Yeah, and that being said, Giraffe is still a major factor in this as well, as he's been consistently outpacing RJ throughout the entire night. So it means I would say that as long as even if we get first half Nixie or third half Nixie, I think MTS can take this.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I really just do want to zoom in more on the demo matchup, because for Giraffe versus RJ, you mentioned it, RJ's been outperformed in every half so far. Better Demo Man will a lot of the times just take over product for his team. The damage you output allows so much follow-up from your other players, and with how aggressively Sandblast likes to play, if Giraffe is doing the deeps and RJ can't respond, Sandblast is going to have a field day.
Yeah, we've seen a consistency throughout all of Sandblast's games is his willingness to just go in and, bet that he's a better player than the enemy team, and he can take fights that may be 50-50 or even 40-60 and turn them in his favor. So if we see that come up, as I was saying, it's going to take a lot out of Waterson in order to equalize that difference between the the three main classes. And granted, we did mention that Shadow was going to be a key factor in that third round of Vigil. Ended up not really revolving around him too much, but MCM did a much better job of shutting him down. He was on the bottom of the scoreboard for the majority of the game. Not in a distant last like AGB was in that first half, but still was definitely not having the same impact he had in even the first or second round, I would say.
Yeah, that's something to look forward to. Is its product. Spies have a lot of chances to make their play since rollout is short, spawns are fast, and there's a lot of angles you can try to come from. Sometimes the team has to ignore you if you do a lot of work. Sometimes you can get a lot of work done, even if they are looking for you. Shotaway versus AGB. kind of like the sniper matchup where one half one's done good, one half the other's done good. It's been kind of like that. Shotaway hasn't had a round where he's truly underperformed yet, but AGB certainly stepped up in the second and third rounds of that Vigil game. So if he can keep that trend going, he might be able to impact the game maybe more than Shotaway.
Yeah, and it looks like I'm getting an update from Rogue that some of the players in the server, there might have been like a Razer software update that's messing with player senses on both teams, apparently. Where Soapy, AGB, Watterson, Casper, and Shotaway, I think, are all experiencing their senses randomly changing. So
Well,
I
that's the
think
problem.
they're all...
You shouldn't use Razer gear. It's
Exactly. That's RGL.gg, sponsored by not Razer, apparently. So
oh, we just closed that door.
yes, slammed that one right. Slammed that one pretty hard. So I think they're going to be working that out. So we'll have a little bit of time to discuss what's going to go on here. So what I want to do then is, we've been talking about, the main classes, right? And I think we've pretty well established the sniper is a little bit of a toss-up. Giraffe's got the edge coming in here. Sandblast probably has the edge over Triple, especially if... Because, Scout and Demo can be tied to each other in that sense.
Yeah.
If RJ's not doing damage for Triple to clean up on, there's only so much he can do. So I want to focus on some of the, the lesser classes, quote unquote.
Lesser. You are worth less on product. That is just the truth sometimes.
And I think we can look at maybe the heavies and the pyros right now.
Sure.
So
I think the pyros are interesting because they both have done their jobs, right? They've both done the air blast on card. They both reflected what they can. They've both been in their Ubers. It doesn't feel like either one of them has had a particularly bad or good game. So I feel like whichever one of them is going to be actually better at the key moments, where both soldiers have shown the tendency to do a lot of bombing with their teams. I think whichever pyro is able to better keep track of bombs, whether or not it's reflecting or spy checking or some of both, is going to be the one to enable their team more.
Yeah, and I feel that I'm feeling a little bit of concern for BM right now, because by the end of Vigil, he was countering Shotaway, and obviously it's not only a pyro's job, right? It falls to the pyro, it falls to the heavy. So I shouldn't just say BM, but I do feel a little bit of concern for MCM overall right now, because they only just barely adapted to shutting down Shotaway and Vigil, which is really not that great of a spy map.
It's all right. It's one of the in terms of pick like a stopwatch spy maps, it's in the middle, I'd say.
Yeah, so it's not a great map, and we saw how hard he was, carrying on those first two halves. If we see a similar kind of performance out of him, where he starts off strong and then gradually tones down, it might just be too late for MCM to turn it around. If Shotaway has similar performances on the first and, maybe the first 2 rounds of this, right, and is able to get MTS up 2-0, even if they start shutting him down in, the third round and later, I don't know if that's going to be enough for them, because I don't feel like MCM is playing at a high enough level right now that they're going to be able to, strongly consecutively take multiple rounds.
Yeah, something to note here as well is I'm pretty sure for playoffs, when you do a Koth pick, you only play one half, so first to 3 instead of 4, correct? Yeah, correct. So it's first to 3 instead of first to 4, like it was in the regular season. So, like Alto mentioned, if it takes a little while for you to get going on shutting that spy down, if that spy can get 1, maybe even 2 rounds for his team, that's all the more percentage of the game that you've already won. So.
Yeah, and not only that, you're not going to have a halftime in between to discuss things. I don't believe either.
Yeah, no
halftime. It's just one half of Koth.
Well, actually, if they 2-2, don't they have for? It's
I don't
only 3. It's only 3 per half, right?
No, because I'm pretty sure you're execing the BO5 config, which is otherwise similar to the scrim config or the UGC config that you'd used to see. So yeah, there will be no halftime in this. So coming out strong is going to be really meaningful. If you can snag that first round, you put the other team onto a timer.
Yeah, they have to adapt to the mistakes they make without any time in between to do it. It's a very challenging thing for Highlander players to do, just because there's 9 people, 9 factors, even more combinations they have to worry about. So whoever can get the momentum rolling will have a big advantage here.
Yeah. So I also do want to see. I think the other thing we can look at too is that AGB and Soapy seem to have been having a lot more luck as things went on. AGB especially, was in the right spot a lot of the times, I think, compared to especially that first round. Even, if you may have had some misfires, like when he might have had a stab onto Nixie, but Soapy went over his head and, gave up the stab, like, those types of things are going to happen. It's just kind of the nature of the class. But as long as you're in that position, more often than not, I'd say you're going to get
sometimes things
results.
will work out for you. Yeah, but with that said, we have all 18 players in the server. Softwares have been updated. We're ready to get started once these players get their warm-up going. Do you have any predictions? They've been on the screen in the past. I'm not sure who was edging out in predictions for this map, but what do you think, Alta?
I'm gonna... every time I've gone against MTS, I've been let down. So I think I'm gonna buck that trend. I think I'm gonna say 3-1 MTS here.
I'm gonna say 3-1 MTS as well, just because I think that with how consistently well Draft has been playing, I just think it's too much to bear for MCM in the long run.
That being said, we are underway here. Demo's on the rollout, and we're going to need to see some big changes out of this. I think especially the MTS combo if they really want to win this. Good rollout by RJ. Starts off the rock to not take any fall damage.
Early bombing.
Big bomb out of Soapy. Goes in, gets some damage off, but might find himself dying. No, gets out onto Cliff safely. So tons of pressure from MCM early, but RJ gets hurt and blown back. Waterson stabbed out, will be the opening frag. Rebound from Soapy. Air shot. Oh my lord, Rogue gets sniped out too. And Shadowway coming in from the back takes out RJ and BM. So, 3K for Shadowway coming out strong like we said he would. There is a Zero getting that reflect air shot, Rogue dying, and MTS coming out strong, just like we said might happen. Just like
that mid started out a bit slow, you know, the initial bomb settled down, and then everything went off in one bang, starting off with that reflect air shot onto the Soapy Meister, and then after that, pick classes went ham. Nixie found headshots, Shadowway found his 3K. Here's the sack in for MCM, trying to find that enemy medic. Not gonna find anything as he's playing on Cliff instead of on the dispenser. So Casper with 100% Uber, Rogue only 50%.
They got in really deep there. If that wasn't... ooh, good stab from AGB. Gonna take out Sandblast. Won't be able to find Casper, though. I think that if Soapy and RJ knew that Casper was on Cliff, they'd probably get that force off. They were kind of pre-firing at Pocket, so if AGB had maybe gotten comms on them that he had been on Cliff, maybe that sack goes a little bit better. But Rogue is at 80, so they'll likely go for Hooper Exchange fairly soon.
Yep, Shadowway is decloaking here. He's on their back. Gonna get one. Gonna get two. Waterson and Callow go down instantly on this push. Rogue gonna come up on Uber. They have to decide whether or not they want to do this. And AGB as well going down. So they're at 6 people, and they still want to do this. They're gonna have to Uber in. But MTS are already in on the point, air blasting them back. Med gets popped up. Oh, Rogue is separated. He gonna kill bind as well because he's not making it out of there alive. And MCM just a bad decision. Once you bleed 3 players, they still went through with it.
Yeah, I think Rogue had already started committing, found himself in a weird spot in Pocket, and figured he was probably going to get forced either way.
It's just Shadowway getting
not a good look,
onto Heavy and Sniper. That just completely won the push for them before it even started.
Shadowway is tripling the points of everyone on MCM that isn't named Rogue right now. He's just got, you know, med points, so... really showing up strong, which we said was a distinct possibility. Here he comes, decloaking again.
HP Shadowway goes from, he gets left at 1 HP after a revolver shot. Unfortunate for Shadowway, almost had another med pick, but the game goes on. We see Spamfest go down as well. Callow was traded by Eerie Person, so now they're going to try and edge onto the point. MCM going for their first cap of the round. They're going to get it with Nixie finding the pick onto Waterson here. So there's a number advantage. Actually, both teams have about 6 players alive. Going to try and regroup our MTS. The spawns are faster, and their Uber is in.
Casper, though!
Soapy finds that sink.
Yeah, goes deep and then comes from behind, takes him out. So 2 minutes into the round. Oh, Casper's at 99% too. Tragic. Probably wanted to get that off, but just not enough.
Shadowway,
that being said, there they come in. Shadowway finds one. Rogue left alone. Gonna go down right away. Hat trick for Shadowway. The man cannot be stopped. The point's still in MCM's favor, but with Casper having respawn, they can take this back anytime they want. Rogue gonna be caught on that long spawn.
No matter what happens in this round for MCM, you have to just think like we're getting rolled by Shadowway. Like we don't have a chance to make our plays because Shadowway is just demolishing us at every turn.
AGB is the top scoring combat class for MCM with 6 points. Shadowway is 17. That's disgusting. He goes in and he just finds frags. There he is. He beefs a stab on Rogue, almost finds one. Still alive. Lives for way too long there. Not actually getting anything.
Soapy got reflected in the backline on his bomb, and there's Waterson finding the snipe onto Giraffe. That's going to get them their first capture. Or, excuse me, not their first, but it's going to get them their
only lost about 20 seconds from that, all things considered, so not actually the worst for them. Rogue's sitting on a 20% disad, but he's able, you know, they should be able to hopefully hold this. Shadowway just really now spawning, going to be crossing in a few seconds. Might have seen him walk out, so hopefully could be calling it. Going to be rerouted through connector.
Yeah, but difficult to cross sometimes, but he will make it through. Meanwhile, both meds on 100% Uber. Once Rogue gets this, they're going to bomb in with Giraffe, trying to find some sticky damage. Going to get that force, but Sticky can't get rehooked off on by his medic, so they're going to lose their demo. Shadowway as well gets caught up on his decloak, and now MCM have a much better Uber. They're running in, trying to get some damage. Bomb in the back from Soapy, doing a lot of damage. Almost takes out Eerie, but the help is enough. Going to get taken out by Nixie. Nixie with a 2K. Another one onto AGB, but MCM has retained control of the point for now. They're down 1 player extra, but they do still have some space to work with. The sniper is still scoping this.
Yeah, depending on what happens with the snipers do here, could be really big. But ooh, I think there was a headshot onto Eerie as he goes down to Callow with some extra damage. BM gonna get sniped out though. Nixie still on porch doing a lot.
Shotaway's in on the medic and sniper, trying to find the revolver shots. Oh, not going to get it off. 1 HP for Rogue, going to get that pack. Rebomb in from the players who are alive, but MTS have more people and more positioning here. Nixie as well, finding that snipe onto Waterson, going to clean off that point. And that's the recapture in for MTS. That said, the times are a lot closer. It's a minute left for MCM, 40 seconds for MTS. And both meds are going to have Uber, so it's a lot closer of a round than it started out to be.
Yeah, Rogue at 95 right here. Sandblast gonna get caught out. Just gonna try to get something before he goes, but he will not be able to. Just a little cheeky there. Nixie's playing really forward up by caution. Gonna be forced back as the stick's over main det. Shotaway on the bridge looking for the decloak. Gets blown back. Great sense by BM there. The Uber comes out right there. Sandblast already down means no scout. Spades goes in and will be the sacrificial lamb here. Sophie caught out on the flank, but BM doing a great job of getting draft on in. He will go down. No demo makes this so easy for MCM. Level 1 by Spamfest in main. Doesn't really though. It's not doing too much. Looks like RJ will take it out. Yeah, 2 seconds on the clock.
And Casper went down. Yeah. Revolver shots taking him down right before Sandblast could deny it. So now MCM, they're in a pretty good position here. They're going to have about a 65% Uber ad. And although they have less time, they have the position and the Uber to make up for it. So MCM can win this round in the position. Here's Shotaway on the rock, trying to revolve in Waterson. Going to get 2 shots, helps Nixie get the cleanup. So that will be a sniper for spy trade. That is what you're looking for while on the offense.
Right, 30 seconds left. Full ad almost here. As Rogue doesn't actually have yet. He's only at 90, but they cannot give up the point here. Cal getting hit a little bit. Gonna have to heal back up. Rogue pops the second he gets. Doesn't want to take any more damage. Freelander goes down first. Good kill to get the soldier up, but that level 1 is gonna eat the bulk of this Uber.
They really need kills.
Yeah, they only got the ones onto. Oh, but Nixie goes down. So does Spamfest. The pick class is coming up big for MCM right there. There goes another one. Onto Sandblast. I think Spamfest is the other one down. Casper low behind Rock. Here comes the BM. WM1 gonna be enough.
Overtime is ticking. It's going down. Their last player, Soldier Freelander, gets clean off it. It's just 0 here, trying to get some air blast work in, but it's not going to happen. And there's MCM with the come behind round 1 victory. That is amazing play from them to kind of bring that one back.
They went from being down 2 minutes on the clock to just sniffing out Shotaway and preventing him from getting too much. So, MCM will take the first round here. We said how important that can be. So, if they can have a good performance on mid here, I'll be ready to believe that they've turned it around. Eerie goes down first. There's a good kill.
Yep, Eerie first casualty. Both soldiers are in behind, doing some spam here. Shotaway decloaking, trying to find the med, and he does. Rogue going down instantly on mid. MTS going to try and walk forward with this heal advantage. They're getting players forward. MCM sacking whatever they can, but there's Triple getting killed immediately. AGB finds the stab onto Casper. That's the sack they needed, and now both teams are actually 3 up. It's very low health for both teams. No one's actually stood on the cap point yet. Freelander or Spamfest Mini getting a lot of cleanup kills, and that mini center is going to end up winning the mid for them. But there are going to be respawned in time, and the point can't get capped up because of another mini. So we're having mid fight round 2 here.
Here's one of those pro gamer moves where you die first as medic so that you get an ad when both meds end up dying. But Callow with the connector push, something like Andrew out of a lobby, it feels like, ends up being a huge threat there, as MCM will win this mid in one of the stranger mid fights we've seen in a playoff match. As here comes an AGB behind on Rock. Can he find anything? No, it doesn't look like anyone's there. Gonna maybe loop around and try again.
We see Casper on 50%, but Rogue on 70%, so Uber ad for the side of MCM. They have position as well. Bomb forward, trying to get some damage. Soapy Meister bombing onto the enemy cliff. Not going to find anything. It's cleaned up by Eerie instantly. So temporary 9v8 for MTS.
Shotaway's in position. Going for the decloak, will be caught out.
Oh, they caught him, yeah. He's going to get taken down instantly by Triple. And they're walking across the point right now. MTS force that Uber. If they can get Casper out alive here, it's exactly what they need here. It's all on AGB. No one else is even in the backline. He gets sticky off of his drop. So really good kite from MTS here. Now they have Uber. They're looking to contest onto the point. Clear out this connector. Fist heavy is too much to work with. They can't quite clean him out quite yet. And there's a back out for MCM. So although their Uber is worse, they have to give up the point. They kept all the key players alive.
Yeah, Callow did so much work in selling out that Uber, and Rogue hitting the arrows on him was really important too. Waterson also got a good pick onto Eerie in the beginning there. Something we saw in that Swiftwater match with MTS against somebody help is that when MTS is not playing at their best, Eerie finds himself dying at really inopportune times, and we might be seeing that again, but Shotaway! Oh, with the drop stab off of China, he got sniffed out, but they couldn't call it in time, and he will take out Waterson right as he goes down. But it looks like MCM's still going to try to push here.
Yeah, Soapymeister's in behind, so they have distraction to work with. AGB went down early, so no spy play. Soapymeister gets the mini sentry, but Crater's on his way in, and now it's a really bad position for MCM. They're getting collapsed on here. Sandblast trying to find these shots onto Rogue, can't quite get them off in time, and he will get taken down. Now it's even numbers, a slight ad for MCM right here. They're walking forward onto point. They have the time. Their health is not very good, but here come the reinforcements. Shadow is in on the backline, gets sniffed out after one pick onto Waterson, so good opening. He's gonna make it out, and there's an Uber in from both teams, popping it up. It's a better Uber for MTS. They're gonna force MCM back onto the rock. Bomb in from Freelander. Great surf out onto China from Rogue. Gonna keep his life. They're gonna lose their heavy, but they did cap the temporarily. AGB 2K onto Nixie, getting a lot of damage in. Triple coming in with the Clamp of World. Zero and Giraffe going down. So that counter push is exactly what they needed. It's just a mini left with Sandblast on the front, and Soapy gonna bomb in and take him out. So the extended fight there. Shotaway not gonna find anything. Very good hold from MCM at the end to keep the point and Uber ad.
Sandblast might have been able to take out Rogue right about 90% there, but some good dance moves from Rogue and a very important combat sandwich from Callow gonna keep him alive there. So MCM now taking the time lead, and they've got an Uber lead as well, with AGB starting to activate. He's managed to find Casper a couple times. There is Eerie going down. There's those troublesome deaths we're talking about, but huge bomb out of Freelander almost takes out Rogue, but dies a little bit too early. I think he gets a sandwich right away too.
Everyone kept
all the
life.
frags going.
Their
All
health
the frags
is not
going
the best
MCM's
right
way.
now for MCM. They're going to lose Waterson as well in the backline, but they did get all the frags in key moments. So with that thing, we find Shadowway gets caught out here. Sandblast Triple trying to clean him up. Runs out of cloak. They do see him. Should get cleaned up here in a second. Oh, jump step. Wait, yeah, it was close. Either way, he gets killed late. Waterson is dead, so Nixie has that snipe onto RJ for free, and that's a really good opening pick for MTS to work with.
Yeah, Uber's going to be popped out by Caution right here. BM causing chaos, might have Casper stuck in. Yeah, no, Casper will escape there. BM goes down
the numbers
first.
are bad.
And yeah, MTS looks like they are going to be pulling this Uber fight out. But importantly, Rogue has managed to escape. And they still have a very good time ad. Yeah, Shadowway going to drop down.
Opening. Rogue died at first mid, and then he hasn't died since, I'm pretty sure.
There might have been one death somewhere mixed in the middle there, but he's otherwise done a very, very good job of staying alive.
His surfs are.
Yeah, no, Shadowway got him like at a second point. I think in that 3K he got. When things looked like they were really going towards
Either way.
Oh, you're talking about
I
this round.
meant this
Yeah.
Either way, we have Soapymeister going for his cliff bomb. He's done it a lot of this so far. AGB actually catches Sandblast looking at him, gets that stab onto him. Shotaway as well going down. There's that mini cleaning up Soapymeister on the backline, but small number ad to work with. They're going to push forward onto the point here, doing a lot of damage. Spades has gone down there to some sticky spam. Nixie gets revolvered in the back by AGB, so sniper to row. They're going to keep walking forward here. It's just Zero trying to defend this, but the cap is in favor of MCM. Casper gonna have to force Uber now. They're almost out of time to work with. Counter is in for MCM here. They're running forward triple into the opposing team. No frags really got off in this Uber quite yet. Draft gets kited back, but he will be fine for now as the point is almost done. MTS need to cap this.
Yeah, they have people on it, and they are going to take Callow off of Rock. Big reflect onto Freelander. Sandblast going down as RJ stays up, doing a ton of damage. Soapy goes in and gets some more, but it looks like they will cap that just barely. That being said,
so low.
Yeah, MCM will have the faster spawns now, roughly. Everyone's going to come up at the same time, but minute and a half on the clock, overtime for MCM. They just need one cap, and they can take a commanding 2-0 lead. The second I start leaning towards MTS, of course, they turn it off.
Yeah, that's what you get for no faith. Either way, we're going to be rolling back out here. Waterson opener onto Nixie. Very important for his team. Now MCM going to walk this one all the way up pocket, trying to get some spam damage. Neither man has Uber quite yet, but Casper will have first. It's about who can get this Uber in time, who can get the frags. There's a lot of pressure on left side here for MCM. Here comes Shotaway in the backline, gets snipped out by BM. Not the fine thing as Casper's Uber gets popped up as Callow is very low. They're going to try and walk forward and get some kills. Level 1 being wrangled. That's a big nuisance deal. It's going to take out a lot of those stickies. Sandblast has gotten piped down as well, so no scout for MTS. It's a point collapse in as the Uber is finally in for Rogue. MCM are going to run forward, clean up everyone. RJ going to go down the one casualty, but everyone else is dead. Points getting capped up, and that will be the round for MCM. 2-0 start for them on their opponent's map pick. They want to do the traditional how to trade each other's maps and go to round 3.
We're being made fools of, Zag. They're taking us for fools, thinking that making us think that they'd actually win on their own maps.
I mean, this is just the script. You have to trade each other's map picks. It's literally written in the RGL rules.
Yeah, huge early bomb out of somebody gets Casper so low. That last rocket not enough. But Nixie's gonna go down. Casper gets revolvered in the back. AGB with the alley-oop from Soapymeister. Chasing, gets two people to chase him back to spawn. MCM should have no trouble on this mid, and yet we see that great, huge positioning. Yeah, Giraffe and Eerie going for a valiant kind of last stand, but they will go down eventually.
But yeah, that was a crazy fast mid for MCM. All that forward pressure drew a lot of attention, and MCM were able to clean up the players who weren't in on that. And now, with that point cap, they're now full Uber advantage with this first cap.
When chat had a good notice there that Casper had actually been on crits there. But died before it ended up mattering. The important part is he still on it now?
Is he? I think I see Uber.
Yeah, it looks like he's back on Uber now, so...
SVS on cliff and rock angle right now. Whoever wins this at 0, or excuse me, Nixie gonna be on the lower cliff angle, trying to find this, but he won't be able to get an angle quite yet. Nixie's now on porch, he's gonna try and find the opener. Here's the bomb and trying to force Uber, and there's the pipes in. Giraffe finding them onto Rogue, gonna drop them instantly, and that is an amazing sack in from Giraffe. It's all about the kills you can clean up right now. If you are on the side of MCM, you want to try and get whatever you can, make them take some time. Here's Soapy trying to go in. He's a bit alone right now. Will do some damage, but unfortunately won't be able to get anything. AGB does get the Spamfest kill, but MTS, that's the opening they needed.
Yeah, Freelander was going in on that as well, but Giraffe just soloed him with one pipe and a sticky. Rogue even complimenting him in chat.
Giraffe's dead, though.
Saying that was a good one, but yeah, Giraffe does get himself sniped here, so it's difficult for them to push right back in. Rogue is respawning right now, I believe. Yeah, he's already back up onto 30%, so the MTS only just now getting the time.
Ooh,
Casper has
Lux is
Uber,
dead,
but they want him to pack up it.
Oh,
Ooh, but
don't
Rogue
keep
snipe
Nixie on that rock.
gets a little bit too aggressive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunate for him. Right now, MCM are walking forward, trying to get this med kill. They are going to force Casper's Uber, so at least that's a consolation prize. And importantly as well, the point hasn't gotten capped up yet, so all this time MCM's been stalling, has actually been giving them closer to winning the round, so it's still not capped in. They're only one up, and the point's not capped, so there we go. A minute and a half off the clock for MCM here. They're going to be perfectly okay with that, especially because they forced the Uber.
Yeah, unfortunately, no one was with Rogue when he spawned, so what could have been only a 5 to 10% disad ends up being closer to a 20. That being said, when you're pushing, yeah, you're pretty fine with that. Everyone at MTS will be spawned back up now by the time MCM makes it back to point. They had those longer spawns, and Nixie getting the snipe onto Waterson. Not refusing to go gently into that good night here on Product. Shot away, decloaking it on Rock, lands on Rock's head!
Oh, Soapy sinks onto Casper, blows himself up for it, but that bomb from MCM is brutal. They do tons of AoE damage in that backline. It's just 2 up. Nixie and Giraffe gonna get blown back here by BM here. Force him all the way back. Giraffe gets crit flared as well, so BM running forward, doing some space, and that is the repush from MCM being amazing. So Rogue gonna be 70% ad.
I mentioned Rogue's dance moves earlier. He had them again. Shotaway jumped off of China, landed on Rogue's head. Always that terrifying position as a medic, because you know basically whatever you do, there's a 50% chance. There's a 50% chance you get stabbed, and has just the right key inputs to not get stabbed before his team can get Shotaway off his head. So keeping that ad is going to be really big for them here with only a minute left until they take product, and it's resounding 3-0. Nixie gets sniped out. Big frag from him right there. They're going to need to force this Uber.
Stop Shotaway from doing it too, so all pick class duels going in the favor of MCM here. They're going to Uber onto point here. 0 going to deny it for a second, but gets immediately cleaned up by RJ. Now they got to walk forward, try and get some kills. Whatever they can find will be good. But MCM has lost 3 people. They've traded onto Sandblast or Spamfest at least. But there's Nixie going to get that shot onto Spades back and out. So no mini sentries up once this one goes down. MCM going to try and kite snap. Casper's 100% Uber in just a second, so forcing that would be optimal, but getting your players out would be even better. Shotaway is in the house here. Rogue is going to be back out towards Cliff, so at least there's that. But point needs to be capped. They're waiting too long to cap the point every time.
Yeah, 20 seconds left. Granted, it is still full ad for Casper, as that push out from MCM wasn't bad, but they just overextended, were a little bit too split, and ended up bleeding too many people. But they're going to need to get the force here, but that being said, they're up a minute 40 on time about.
If they want. They can run a sack and just wait for Uber. That'd be perfectly fine for MCM. Shotaway got sniped crossing, so that's really unfortunate for him.
And here comes in Soapy. Knows he's on Cliff, gets the force off. Yeah, that's the problem with standing on Cliff. And Giraffe gets sniped out too in the middle of that. So even though this is a force, it's going all in the favor of MCM. It feels like they got Waterson, but that's
now that the Uber's over, they're gonna drop off Cliff, trying to clean his players up. Mini doing a lot of work here, but it's gonna get flamed down by BM here. You see triple chasing and trying to get some frags. They got Freelander, but that's it. So Uber not too successful in that regard, but they do get the point back. And with 15 seconds left on the clock, the onus is on MTS to make something work, and they will not have Uber to work with either.
Yeah, 10 seconds left. Waterson gets stabbed. That's a big pick from Shotaway, but Nixie goes down as well. No snipers here. Shotaway might have a chance to come back in, though. And come back in, he will. He takes out RJ. Big pick there. Rogue goes down in main for 2 Spamfest. So the aggression from MTS will be enough.
Spades got Casper at the end. 2 shotgun shots from the engineer, and the Mini's doing a lot of work too. It gets a cleanup kill onto Freelander, so Uber disadvantage has been negated. Their spawners are faster, so even though they're going to lose the point here, MCM have a minute to work with, and they have Uber advantage as well.
Yeah, but they have Uber advantage, but I'm not even sure if it's going to matter. Still some of the spawners coming up for MTS. If they go faster, they may be able to just blitz this point. That's what they're doing. Nixie stabbed out, yeah. Continually finding the sniper here. Casper's going to have to get in through main. Callow goes down, but so does Eerie. No heavies here.
One more.
Rogue goes down. Good pipes, and MCM is getting meat grindered behind Rock. Shadowway and Freeland are going to be trades back as AGB keeps finding stabs, but that was the point where MCM needed to get in point and spread out, but they just got rolled by Giraffe behind Rock. AGB!
Freelander and Sandblast go down. Flank classes for the side of MTS going to be on respawn timers. Sandblast going to be the longest of the bunch, so he's going to be able to kind of get some advantage for his team when he gets spawned up. MCM are sacking back into this point over and over. It's ×3. They're trying to get this cap up. It's 30 seconds, and Casper is 75%. If Casper gets this Uber, they have a lot of chance to win this round, but right now it's about defending it. Rogue gets stabbed again. Shadowway finding that pick once more onto the enemy medic. RJ going to pipe down Eerie, but they've lost most of their players. It's 4 up for MCM, 4 up for MTS, fighting for this point. It's almost capped up. A cap wins the game. They're going to force Casper's Uber, but the air blasts are not enough. BM going to get taken down. It's about who can get on this point and when. AGB is in here. He's going to be able to find something. Oh, and doesn't get the stabs, but Soapy is in here as well. Getting on this point is what matters.
Yeah, and Rogue is up on Quick Fix right here, but the spawns are in MCM's favor. Freeland coming back, and Soapy with a big reverse bomb. They can take out Sandblast. They finally get him. The saw onto Casper, and the 3-0 from MCM showing up dominant. Absolutely dominant onto MTS's map just when we were ready to write them off.
Well, we're going to write them on and pencil them in for a third map here on Asheville. They've done everything they needed to even up the series, and in dominant fashion as well. So MCM showing up with something we didn't really necessarily expect that they had, but good thing they had it here.
Yeah, just great play by everyone. AGB, you know, we said Shadow was going to show up strong, and he did. But this time, instead of taking two halves,
a lot of work.
Instead of taking 2 halves to figure out Shadowway, they took 2 lives. And after that, they were able to, you know, he was getting kills, but he wasn't popping off anywhere near that he had been before. But let's get stats up because I'm very interested to see what happened here.
Yeah, we have the stats on your guys' screens right now. Let's see what stands out to us upon first look here. Sandblast, 22 kills. Triple keeping up 25 and 9. That's the advantage of playing the triple play style, by the way, where when you're playing with your combo, you're kind of like on a leash with them. You're going to stay with them. You're going to fight with them, die with them. If your combo is doing the work, then you will get all the cleanup kills and you will not die because you have beam.
Most important thing out of all of this, I think, is that RJ did 100 more DPM than Giraffe did.
Yeah, for the first time, we see RJ actually outperform Giraffe in a round, or in a half, excuse me, but that half's going to be the 3-0 product. That's pretty much what they needed from him to step up to get that win on Koth. So big plays from him overall. Waterston did outperform Nixie, but Nixie did have a lot of clutch plays.
Yep, and we will keep talking about this. However, we do have an update for the other match. Moving into product, as we saw the scores even up here, was unfortunately not in the cards for Fat Peter, as we saw another 3-0 come out from Hood Naruto. One of the rounds was close, the other 2 were pretty much stomps, meaning that Hood Naruto, with not much surprise, I don't think, will be advancing into the upper bracket finals, meaning that the winner of this match will be up against Hood Naruto, the loser going into the lower bracket to play against Fat Peter in order to get into the top 3.
I've been looking at the stats while you gave that update, and like, Soapy Meister's scoreline is so funny. He's 8-23 with 260 DPM. That's like definition Muma feed soldier. But he had a lot of really good picks. Like the 8 kills were all really high impact.
Yeah, it was. Not only were they high impact, he was creating a lot of pressure too.
Yeah, he jumped cliffs so often, just made people look at him.
I don't know if I've ever seen a soldier in Highlander consistently get as much airtime as Soapy does. He comes in and he comes in high, which isn't necessarily always the best for just getting kills because it gives more time to react to him, but it means that there will be times where 3 to 4 people are just looking 90 degrees upward, which means they can't be looking forward. And that was giving MCM the space that they needed to walk in. They weren't able to capitalize it on Vigil just because of how, you know, payload works as opposed to Koth. But if MCM's able to keep this up moving into Asheville, then we may see them come back here as we have the map change. So all comes down to this.
Yeah, and going by what we've seen on, obviously if we go by what we saw on Vigil and what we saw on Product, that's 2 completely different stories, but for the sake of both maps being Koth and Product as well being more of the recent map, so it shows more of the momentum going forward, if RJ can keep up his performance where he's matching Giraffe in damage and even beating him in damage, Triple gets the beam, he's able to clean up what he does, AGB has a really good performance, Waterson outsnipes his opponent, it's looking good for MCM here.
Yeah, so that's interesting that even though those rounds, only the last round was actually no, all the rounds are pretty close now that I think about it, and the frags.
Yeah, the kills were 150 to 135, so yeah, pretty close.
So really, 5 kills a round is enough if you're winning double overtime fights, which I think 2 of the rounds were, or maybe that first round was like 1 or 2 seconds left on the clock.
There was a lot of contention on overtimes.
Yeah, exactly. Every round was down to less than 30 seconds on both teams, at the very least. So, again, yeah, it does make you want to favor MCM here, because, again, I don't think Sandblast's playstyle works as well when his demo's getting outperformed.
Last thing I want to bring up about the stats exclusively, Spamfest top fragged on
Yeah.
Engineer.
Yeah, we saw multiple times where that mini just got a ton of kills in the post fight. Yeah, out of the 26 kills she got, 14 were with the shotgun, 9 with the mini. So not that bad of a spread.
14 puts her in average, but you're gonna have the mini kills, so either way.
Compare that to Spades, who had 9 to 5 shotgun to mini. So still being able to get alive. She had a ton of really aggressive mini spots. We saw her put the level 1s up in main sometimes that were absorbing a lot of pressure. Something Spades even mimicked later on in that game. So
the level 1 wrangle on the Cliff Rock just ate up a lot of the stickies in that Uber.
Yeah, seeing some revolutionizing to the engineer meta as we speak. But yeah, moving into Asheville, who are you looking at to be some major impact players here?
It's got to be the same. It's got to be Demoman again for me. Whichever Demoman has had the good performance so far, what we've seen. Obviously, it's Highlander. Demoman does damage, you win game. But like, whenever Demoman is doing a lot of work, these teams both have what it takes to take advantage of their damage. They both have the good scout players, the good spy players, all the people who can walk forward, heavies who will help their team walk forward as well, NGs who can clean up with shotgun. It feels like whichever Demoman is able to lead the charge and do the damage is able to lead their team to the victory. So I really want to see RJ versus Giraffe and who's able to step up here.
I'm going to be looking a lot at Soapy here, personally, because I feel like his impact on product wasn't fully conveyed by his stat line, but on a map like Asheville, where it's a bigger map, there's more opportunities for flanks. His playstyle of trying to get behind and be a nuisance is going to be a lot more drawn out, right?
But if he has that many deaths again, then at the same time it could be a bit worse.
True.
Because staying alive behind is a very big deal.
I'm looking at it as he has so many deaths because he can't really get behind on product. Anytime he goes in, he's gonna, he has to go through a heavy somewhere. So unless Erie's dead, he's gonna get shot out. Whereas now, if Erie's on ramp, there's nothing that he can do about Soapy just bombing bats and taking fights there, which will also be on Triple too, because if Triple maintains that really, really beam-heavy style, then maybe Soapy might get left out to dry. Whereas I've got the feeling that Sandblast is going to be a lot more willing to flank behind.
Yeah, that's fair to say, just while thinking, but we have the prediction on your guys' screen. They shifted to MCM after that dominant win on product, understandably, going into a Koth map for third, the decider, but yeah, so it's going to be really interesting to see which team's able to come out strong. There's a lot of players who can make the difference by themselves.
Yeah, and I think it'll be interesting seeing how the snipers perform as well, since normally on a map like Asheville, you always want to kind of lean towards the snipers not doing as much, but Watterson's just got such a history on Asheville. Because, Watterson is not the sit in one spot and hard scope, one angle type of sniper. He's the guy who's perfectly fine running in, finding those quick scopes, getting those god shots off. And on a map like Asheville, having that ability to quick aim is really going to help you out in a lot of situations that a more traditional style sniper might not be able to. That being said,
Nixie's just as crazy.
Exactly. And we saw MTS on Asheville. Granted, that was against Division Dysphoria, who's not anywhere near the pedigree that MCM is, but Shotaway was criminal on that map. What he's able to get away with in terms of just, getting decloaks, getting stabs, doing the Jacob where he'll get 2 kills and then pull out a revolver and just shoot down the med and just making something out of nothing, really. So I'm going to be looking at him again, because if they really can keep Shotaway down, as they did on product, I think. We saw AGB out frag and Shotaway had a lot of deaths there. If they can keep that up, I think they can take this.
Yeah, the big thing with Shotaway and AGB and comparing them is that in terms of how much we're singing their praises, right? Shotaway has had he had 2 amazing halves. He had 1 phenomenal half on Vigil where he basically won the game for his team. He should have won the first round of product for his team with how well he was playing. But in terms of the long-term consistency, if you take out the 2 standout rounds for him, he's been average. It's not necessarily he's having a bad performance, but Shotaway, we know he has a higher ceiling. And the thing about Spy is an inconsistent class. Sometimes you're able to find the timings, you're able to hit your shots when it counts, and you just completely run amok on the enemy's backline. Sometimes you don't get as lucky. Sometimes things don't quite go your way. But it's about finding that middle ground between consistency and the big plays, where you're able to really just gauge your impact. In terms of being a consistent player, I feel like AGB's been more impressive than Shotaway tonight. Because AGB, aside from his first early bad round, he's been consistently finding picks that his team needs. He kept Nixie down in the dirt on product for the most part. He was in there on sacks. He found people when they were distracted. And that's the kind of consistency that will pay off in the long run.
I don't know if I'd agree. Well, what I should say is that I would, if I was given an option, I'd still take Shotaway right now, I think, because his performance on product was pretty similar to AGB's when his team was losing. Granted, with a game that close, it's not that different. But if you compare what he did on Vigil, whereas I don't think AGB's Vigil was that impressive, and even when Shotaway wasn't popping off, for most of that, he was still consistently finding picks. That being said, the spy difference is definitely nowhere near as big as it was when we started. And again, we kind of mentioned it before going into product, right? That if MTS would be able to keep up that winning dynamic of Demo and Sniper both popping off, they were going to win, and they were unable to. And instead, that shifted over towards RJ popping off, and Watterson, not dominating Nixie by any means, but out-fragging him in general, which gave Triple so much room to work with. And I think if the Demo dynamic can say what it was, then we'll see MCM take this. Otherwise, MTS is going to bring it back.
Something we haven't really talked about much is the medics and how they're performing against each other. I feel like they've both been having pretty good nights overall. We haven't seen very many bad Uber beefs coming out. We haven't seen very many bad drops. We saw one time, Casper gets sync rocketed. One time, Rogue gets double piped by Giraffe on a bomb. Things just happen when you're medic, but I feel like they've been both playing really well for the most part tonight.
Yeah, we've both seen some really good surfs out of them too. Casper had that nut surf on Vigil second where he skyboxed himself and then landed on the pack, and then Rogue went from point on to China to get away from Freelander. So, but yeah, they really have both been playing well. And Rogue had that one slip up maybe on that first Vigil half where he dropped Callow. But other than that, there's not been too much. And I don't know if Dolphin can get a camera on this, but there's 9 heavies in the MCM spawn all going absolutely ham on this punching bag.
That's the pregame. That's their ritual. They gotta roll this punching bag if they want to roll their opponents.
That's what they just did to MTS, and there's
the
ready
up. There's the ready up.
They're warmed up. They're warmed up.
The punching bag. We're ready. We're ready to go.
They're warmed up and ready to go.
MCM looking for the reverse sweep here tonight to take the victory. MTS looking to deny it.
Ooh, RJ got the best possible spawn he could have. Maybe that's a good omen for them, as he is the first one to the shutter. A little bit less health than Giraffe. They're going to be hit even lower. Yeah. As a Rogue comes in quickly, Shotaway just running at them with the revolver, gonna take a rocket!
I love it, and there's Freelander in the bomb onto Rogue's head. That's amazing. How do you get out alive and he stopped Watterson right after? There's the Shotaway. There's the high-level performance we know he can bring out, and that's given them pretty much a complete decisive mid. He's still alive.
Yeah, he dead rang right after that. That's so good. Just walks across mid with the revolver out. It's the spy equivalent of feed theory.
That's the high-level play we know he's capable of. If he can keep pulling that one out, then MTS will be at the advantage for sure.
That was so like stupid. It was smart.
He's gonna dual Spade Slick on the ramp here. Spade's punching him and gonna take him down though, so Shotaway winning that one. I feel like every game so far we've pressed tab after a minute and Shotaway's just topping the scoreboard, but either way, Sack in here for MCM trying to find the picks they need. They got one onto BM and RJ, but their med is still alive with Uber.
Yeah, Casper all the way out.
Is good though.
On ramp.
5
and
picks.
Yeah, they will have the earlier spawns here, so almost everyone up other than Watterson. Once Callow's up, they're still looking at an 8v...
AGB should kill this mini here.
8v6 right now. Shadowway might get himself caught too. Deadringer will get him out, just barely. So much point presence from MCM here. RJ, though, getting sniped, not going to be good. Ubers will get exchanged out, though. Zero on the enemy team's bats. Going to be fighting BM underneath,
MCM
yeah.
Because their demo got sniped. And
good stab from AGB. Takes him out right away. Revolver's Casper down low, too, so he can't really fight. Looks like the point's going to swing back over to MCM.
Yeah, gotta watch out for Nixie on this bat saying who's scoping it. We see the sniper gets stabbed. Shot Watterson and Calla going down to that chain stab out of Shutter. You gotta be aware of that one. Now they're gonna walk forward. Spamfast has the crits. Running forward, gonna kill Soapy with it. Now they have people on the dumpster, or on the barrels, excuse me. They're gonna deny this capture for MTS, and they're gonna keep the point control in their favor. Both meds at about 50% when all the dust settles, but for MCM, you gotta get that capture there.
Shadowway got 6 kills in that life with the dead things to the Dead Ringer. So yeah, they won't even get the cap there. They're playing a little bit too passively around it, and Shadow gets the frags. It's going to make them all reverse. But
no! Takes his med so low. Rogue is 1 HP.
And here comes Freelander, going to finish him off. The coup de grace right there. They will get the cap back, but they cap just as Rogue dies, meaning all they're going to do is flip his spawns. Casper coming up on Uber right now. This is a Pyrrhic victory for MCM right here. The cap's going to go back right away. They're barely going to get 20 seconds off of it.
Yeah, I'm still full Uber for Casper. That med kill, that was such a big play from the boomstick. We saw Spamfest Revenge crits doing so much work.
Glow stick.
Oh yeah, the boomstick is the caver. Forgot. Either way, big impact.
Here comes the bomb, though. Casper drops!
From RJ. RJ demolished him on that bomb. That was amazing. I hope we have his perspective from that.
I'd imagine Dolphin caught it, although I can't always look at the stream, but with that med going down, Rogue sitting on 30% ad, Casper's just now spawning. I'd like to see MCM get a little bit more aggressive here. Nixie's going to take out Waterson, and they're playing really passive for a team that's down more than 2 minutes.
Yeah, they do have Uber ad. They might think we can kind of farm this one out, get some presence. Here's the Soapy Bomb. Going to take the NG off the fans, take down the Mini as well. He's going to get the pack as well. No, it's not there. AGB
Freelander taking him at AGB. That's the revenge kill. He will go down, but Shadowway found out as well. But even after that drop, it's been almost a minute, and they still haven't capped.
Yeah, I gotta walk forward here. There are players on this roof here that are distracting. RJ gonna get wrangled from the other side, so there's a lot for him to look at here. Ideally for MCM, you want to capture this without forcing, but they're gonna have to use the Uber to save their Pyro. Gonna run forward what they can, but MTS are basically already out. There's nothing here for them to find. They're gonna try to get some reflects, some damage, but 0 reflecting those pipes means they're gonna keep everyone alive. And although the cap goes in favor of MCM, MTS are looking good here.
And yeah, importantly, MTS did get overtime off of that, so any cap will win them the game. Shadowway just walking out through Shutter with that Den Ringer knows he can just walk behind with impunity. Gonna go over on the bad side, and this is really MCM's first actual defense of the round.
Here, that's a big opening. Oh, Triple just misses his timing, and he's gonna get that pick. So Shadowway finding that enemy sniper. Now we're gonna see MTS drop off bats. They're gonna pop the Uber onto this heavy who's close, instantly taken down, and the bomb in from draft does a lot of work as well. They're gonna instantly chase their opponents into their own ramp, and now so much damage being done. 9 up for MTS. They're getting the point capped, and there's nothing MCM can do at all. They're just gonna cede this first round.
Yeah, just again off the backs of that initial mid going so wrong.
Shadowway and draft top of the scoreboard. That's exactly what you need for MTS to bring this one back in your favor.
It's you just run the scout at your demo man with the Den Ringer. What can you do?
Yeah,
so intelligent.
He does it because draft is calling. He's winning the damage fight, right? Shadow's gonna try and revolve. He's not running straight the demo here because he doesn't have the damage, right? So he's gonna Bomb from Freelander gonna come out though, finds Rogue and RJ. Both meds will trade, but all of the frags are MTS's favor. Only 3 up for MCM right there. AGB going behind, and Spade's doing his best. Oh, the Mini's building though.
Shadow getting him just in time.
Oh,
no!
He's dead, though.
He's not disguised!
It's actually the same numbers up for both teams. They're all going to get their respawns at the same time. MCM have more in the first wave, but we are in a pause right now, so 90 seconds in the future, there is an issue that we have to pause for.
Yeah, just crazy mid fight there. Those 3 remaining members for MCM were all able to do just enough to stall this coming down. And now we see both meds, on just spawning basically at the same time, I'm pretty sure. So,
yeah, that mid's a lot more of an even one, where when the Doman damage trade goes a bit more evenly, Shadowway can't just WM1 him, right? He has to stay a bit further back, make sure he can Dead Ringer out, because that kill's not guaranteed. And then the mid just kind of drew out a bit. The explosiveness happened, both meds went down, and then kills got cleaned up across the board. Mini Sentry baited some kills. That one's always funny in late Highlander mid fights to see which one actually ends up doing more impact. But either way, we're going to have mid fight version 2 once again, as both teams going to be looking to get their players up. MTS have more people on the field right now. They have Demoman and NG with a Mini Sentry built on the front line. Meanwhile, MCM, they kind of don't have much right now. They have more spawners. They're about to get Spades, probably putting a Mini outside of Shutter here, but yeah, it's going to be mid-fight V2.
Yeah, and MCM really needs to come up with an answer to this Freelander bomb, because on the last mid, things are not even going all of their favor when he came in, but this time it wasn't nearly as like one-sided, but he still came in and found RJ and Rogue. BM and Callow just not in the right spot to really deny that. So he died this time, but he already got, 2 or 3 rockets off, and you need to be killing a soldier faster than that.
Yeah, alternatively, Rogue could hit the God Surf again, which he's capable of doing, but that soldier is so hard to deal with on mid if there's a lot of distraction over, because I guarantee you, they see Shadowway botting across point, and after last round, I guarantee they're saying, guys, the spy is WM1ing us, please shoot at him, so he can't go in, he has to go out instead. But all that distraction being made makes it so Freelander's bomb has more chances to go off without a hitch.
I'm pretty sure that's actually exactly what happened, where Shadowway was kiting towards like the right side
Yeah, he was kiting towards
of the
secret.
point, and Callow turned to look at him, popped his dead ringer right as Freelander went in, so the Heavy's not even looking in the right spot there.
Yeah, it's just so many distractions to work with. Shadowway's revolver, like, even if that play isn't able to find the Dome Man kill, which, like, I guarantee first mid was like key optimal situation. That happens once in a blue moon where your Dome Man wins the damage trade completely. Your spy hits all the shots, no one focuses down quick enough, and you get that mid fight for free. But when it's a bit more drawn out, this is what the mid probably looks like more often, where you have distractions. The spy isn't the one who makes the game-winning play. It could be the soldier, could be your demo man, could be a sniper. But yeah, either way, MTS, they looked good on the mid initially, but they lost their mid in the back line thanks to AGB finding that stab. If AGB doesn't find that stab, it's a whole different game right now.
Yeah, and he's still alive. Him and Spades were two of the three remaining MCM players that just managed to stay alive, keep pressure out, and force everyone at MTS back from point, allowing this kind of reset to come in. Granted, you know, if there's a Koth map we see that has super long mid fights, it's always Asheville. Just because Asheville's point is so dangerous to stand on, it's very difficult to really take presence on it unless you've already got an advantage. But where are the Meds even spawned yet? They are
both spawned, yeah.
Yeah, MCM and MTS I think just got their respawn waves from that massive
Shout out to the
massive
pause timer
simultaneous
being
death.
right before they both start healing as well, so it doesn't climb up during pause time like it normally does. Both meds, they have a player, they just haven't started charging
They haven't
yet.
even started healing yet, so really not too much. Anyway,
We've gotten word that the reason for the pause is Soapy Meister had a bit of lag, so they're trying to wait for that to subside, maybe see if there's some solutions, but either way, we're waiting around for that. I'm sure Dolphin is showing us some sets on cam, some things to keep you guys entertained for now.
yeah, he's always good with the kids. But what was I gonna say? Let's think about that previous round, right? Oh, we're actually getting word that the unpause should be coming in soon, so maybe we won't have that much time. But MCM took that pretty solidly, I would say. MTS took that pretty solidly. And it was an all-around performance. It didn't feel like anyone on MCM was really getting the opportunity to do too much. The fact that your engineer and Pyro are top scoring should tell you all you really need to know. As the unpause does come through. Spades
Mini
back
versus
out onto
Mini.
point.
Which Mini wins the fight? We're seeing
Spades is building. Ooh, gonna get taken down. Good stickies coming out from RJ, who's back on the point already. Sandblast up on the roof, not gonna be able to do too much to stop this. Some Captain coming in. Soapy jumps him. Not gonna be able to get too much damage off though. And Zero getting sniped out. Good pick.
Bomb from Freelander on
Water
the ramp.
Seal.
Rogue sees it coming, gonna dodge out as well, so Rogue gonna keep his life for now. But a lot of damage was dealt. Space gonna get sniped as well, so right now MTS have priority on the point, and Nixie finding Watterson as well means that point is firmly in the favor of MTS here. They're gonna walk forward. Casper has about a 10% advantage. Shouldn't mean that much in the long run, but they will at least get the first capture.
Yeah, finally capping that mid-fight after to us what felt like an eternity. But, again, just better kind of counter pressure coming out. MCM moved first there, and that caused them to lose. Got a little bit too grouped on point and just, gave them the opportunity to come back in. But, ooh, good shot onto Sandblast there. So, no scout means that there's going to be just a lot less chip damage coming in as the cap time starts out. Casper back on ramp, but just edging coming from Triple Callow, though, dropping onto boxes. Getting close.
Yeah,
they're not aware of
right
this.
now.
Giraffe could get shredded here.
Oh,
Drop drops!
Sniped by Nixie. Nixie, where was he? Looks, he was on a bats angle or something, and he wasn't he? No, he was ramp. Where is he? Yeah, he was on ramp with them. And because of that, they just lose. Their medic milks a bit too long when you're going for that. If you're playing close up, you want to get in their face fast, and Rogue peeking that unfortunately and drops that Uber. So MTS gonna keep control of this point. They had the Uber for free. They used it, and now they have firm control of the round.
Yeah, ticking down to just about a minute capped so far. Casper having only a 10% ad due to how those Ubers got popped off.
spawns
So
were
nothing
faster as well.
too much. But Callow getting it super close again. Will get called out from the bats right there. But Triple already dead, as is Soapy. And they're just not being able to find any purchase here on Asheville.
Shotaway is so annoying to them right now. He's just sitting on their ramp and revolvering them onto fans. Watterson finds a snipe onto Zero, so that's at least something to work with, but they have no space to work with. Casper has 80% Uber, Rogue 65, so disad there. They have to walk off bats here. They have a sniper in Shutter trying to find something. Gets the mini. There's the bomb from Soapy. Gets reflected. Oh, but there's a stab from AGB coming in just when he needs to. Gets that kill onto Casper. So now Rogue has Uber to work
But
with.
Sandblast jumps over the roof trying to get onto Rogue. Can he finish him off? He will, right at the end. He gets the last pistol, so Shadowway helps out with an Eerie pushing forward. There's tons of bodies everywhere. It looks like MCM is going to win this, but
they lose their
there's
men
Freelander.
in it, and that was kind of the advantage that they would have needed to hold to keep snowballing this round. So even Uber's coming out, but Nixie gonna get chased off, just barely manages to live. Casper healing him back up, as Triple will barely escape those pipes flying over bats.
Yeah, at least for MCM, your spawns were faster for the most part. The cap point got capped up pretty recently, so they are in position here to defend this point. Shotaway gonna DR across point right now. Giraffe on the bats trying to poke with some sticky damage. Taking down this mini as well as high priority for him. Spades wrangling that one, being a nuisance as Erie's in the shutter here, dodging it a bit. Sandblast trying to play patty cake with a heavy on the crates here, but gets punished thoroughly for it. Triple chases him down and gets that kill.
Oh, big jump out of Soapy onto bats. What's he gonna find?
He gets out at least.
Too much, yeah. Doesn't really find anything, but
You really
doesn't
don't
find
want
his
your
own
soul to
death
die.
either.
You find 0 for free. That was pretty funny.
But ooh, Shadowway finding
Freelander.
Callow in the backline. Sacks out of Freelander. Both are going to go down. Not
Oh, they're
able to
Ubering
touch Rogue. Uber comes out. Yeah, Rogue going to pop in response. Casper meets back up with Giraffe, but he's going to have to flash Eerie here, so way better Uber on the red side. That will fade, actually. Eerie, goes down right at the end. Good shot by Waterson, and AGB finds a stab onto Nixie. No sniper in the post.
Ooh,
Means that they
Waterson's
cannot
wow.
play
Crack
forward,
shot.
and yeah. Takes out Samblas there. Spamfest on the enemy bats. Gonna put up a mini. Put a little battalion there, but the military police gonna chase her down. I don't know what metaphor I'm going for right there, but Shadowway just running in. Didn't even get the dead ringer off. Died immediately there.
Oh, finds the kill onto Rogue. That bomb gets the RJ and Rogue, enemy demo and medic. So big distraction. Shotaway was just the distraction there for Freelander. Comes in and gets the 2 kills. So now Casper, full Uber had to work with on this. Once MTS cap this up, they'll be in firm control of the round again. It's a minute and a half left for MCM, but only a minute for MTS. And with this Uber, it's going to be really hard to do anything for MCM.
Yeah, definitely, since they are going to need to do something about Casper here. They've gotten a drop on him once already, may be able to do it again, but they are probably going to have to go for a sack here with Rogue only being at 10%. Something needs to happen.
Yeah, there's a minute left. The sack gives you very little time to work with, but with the full Uber this side, you have to do something here. They either have to rely on a backstab drop, which AGB isn't positioned for, or you have to get something else. Favorable Uber, either way. Not looking too good right now. AGB is going to try and go for the sniper,
Whiffs.
but can't get anything. And the
Uber
Uber
gets
is into the
popped
enemy
out,
shutter,
yeah.
They're taking this one right
Rogue
into
can
their
get out
throats.
here. That's all they can really ask for.
Oh,
but
yeah,
no, he gets
Casper.
butter knifed. And yeah, but both meds go down at the same time. Yeah. So both meds are down right here. Frags are scattered everywhere.
It's 3 down for each team. It's a pure DM fight here. As Mini Sentry's doing a lot of work right now for both teams. They're both almost dead right now. It looks like Spamfest will go down first, and MCM are going to be able to walk on point here. There's 17 seconds left for MTS. They should be fine with giving this up, especially with the Shotaway finding the pick onto Waterson. So Waterson's spawn time are getting extended. They don't want to give up overtime.
Yeah, they really don't, as both meds are going to be about even on the Ubers too.
They're trying to do it.
Yeah.
It cost Callow his life. Oh, but there's AGB trading it. That's very good. Freelander
Bomb out
bombing
of
in.
Freelander. Ooh,
He's
good
dead.
reflect there. Yeah, saves Rogue's
That's
life.
the
But the
knife
cap
point
time
here.
coming
3
back in, they
seconds.
have to fight this. It's just fate.
Look at
Takes out
Spades.
Sandblast. That's exactly what they need, but Zero's doing so much pressure, but there comes in everyone collapsing from the side. Casper's gonna go down to AGB's revolver, and everyone
It's
else gets
Nixie and
mulched on point.
Spamfest right now, watching from the ramp angle. The sniper gonna get the kill onto Triple, and the mini is wrangled. It's so hard to deal with. These two are single-handedly holding off the entirety of MCM. MCM are gonna walk forward once they clear that mini the first time, and the point is gonna get defended here for MCM, but time is bought. Rogue's gonna have 95%. Casper not having at all. Freelander bombing forward, trying to get something done, but now MTS need to push it from Shutter.
Rogue doesn't want to risk dropping to Nixie here. Big jump out of RJ, gonna force them back, but no frags coming through. BM looking to push under bats, but he's gonna get sniffed out and killed by Sandblast. Again, only Spamfest, the person found. More frags for MTS right now. Callow getting gooned on these boxes, takes out Giraffe, which is important, but there goes
AGB finds
RJ.
2. Eerie and Zero go down. That's the combo. They're gonna clean up Sandblast and under as well. MCM have what it takes here. Shotway in the back line. Not gonna fire, but there's
Snipe from Nixie on ramp, he will go down though, and it is absolute chaos
That's
here.
fine,
That mini
Medic's not
coming
worth
up.
anything anymore.
The
It's-
wrangled mini fights, but Spades is gonna win it. He got
It's
a little bit of
double
damage out ahead of time.
Freelander gets wrangled down. Spades doing a ton of work here. Finally gets taken down by Giraffe. Here's AGB in the back. Shoots Spamfest. Gonna try and shoot Giraffe. Not no, but there's the shot, and they can't get on the point fast enough. There's the round for MCM, equalizing it 1-1. This time AGB topping the scoreboard. From what it seems like, whichever spy's at the top of the scoreboard wins the game. So pretty easy win condition.
Yeah, just absolute chaos coming out in all of these fights, man. So hard to track them. Everyone is making good plays. Spades really being a stalwart bastion for MCM right there. The mid Soapy's gonna kill himself, and Waterson gets sniped out immediately, and
there
then
we go.
RJ and AGB. Rogue probably gonna have to start backing out soon.
Yeah, keep
Zero,
him
the
up.
only real pick here that they got. Triple goes down as well. So Rogue keeps his life this mid, which better than the previous
That's
one.
better, yeah, better than the other mids. So your med gets out alive. Shotgun, Spades versus Sandblast. Who wins it? Punch! Oh, Spades kills him and just looks at him in disgust.
Pusha continuing to assert dominance over MTS right now. His play was crucial for them winning that last round in a ton of different spots. Manages to get Sandblast there.
Yeah,
but that being said, Rogue is just coming up on Uber. And they are going to have to push back in. Time advantage in the favor of MTS right now. Zero on this roof, trying to deny what he can, as MTS getting pretty forward on point. Eerie on the boxes. Uber gets popped off.
Force. They're going to look to kite them back into the enemy ramp. Eerie takes that flash and gets out of there. Now we see MCM kiting in underneath their bats, underneath the point as well. No one has died yet, but Casper, the first casualty, as Soapy's bomb hits home. Shot away and Zero as well going down to some hit scan. Watterson winning the SPS onto Nixie. So keeping your Meta alive. Rogue trying to get sacked on here, but he's firmly behind these aluminum sheets and he's going to stay alive. And now they're going to be able to cap the point out. There's Watterson closing kill onto Spamfest. Will lose his life for it, but there's Sandblast going down to Spades once again. And that capture is in for MCM. They're going to have Uber advantage as well. A minute off the clock for MTS, though.
The thing you always got to keep in mind when you're going for those aggressive Ubers is that you're kind of everyone's out of position and not where they're used to playing. So that late bomb coming out of Soapy finds Casper with almost no resistance, honestly, and able to take him out. No heals means that everyone else is just going to, win their own fights because Rogue managed to kite and stay alive. So 15 seconds into this hold or so for MCM. Uber ad for Rogue, faking a little bit, but Sandblast gets killed on a Shutter Dead, gonna go down right away. Ragdoll, not even Gib. Freelander jumping in for a bomb. Good reflex coming out, and he's gonna find nothing.
Sniped.
Zero gets sniped out as well. Oh, triple a little bit low, but Giraffe goes down. Watterson continuing to find shots alone on
there's Nixie dead as well. Great sack denial there from MCM. Everyone who needs to get dealt with gets dealt with, and now they're into their hold. Casper 85% Uber. Respawners will be in for MTS in just a second, but AGB finding the kill onto Spamfest means no mini. Telly should go down as well, so another advantage for them to work with here. The onus is on MTS to push off with this Uber.
Yeah, and Giraffe gets sniped out again. The triple going down to Freelander. There's the first kill that MTS has found in almost a minute, it feels like. Yeah. So no sniper, no demo. This Uber... They are gonna lose. They are gonna lose BM in this, but they have so much presence here. As long as they don't have a tragedy occur in the backline, it shouldn't be too bad. But a tragedy might be happening as a bunch of Flame players go down. It's Freelander, finds Rogue and is still alive. If he can get another rocket off, he will go down. But RJ forced back, so bit of a questionable.
Where were you when MCM lost to a no demo man Uber?
Oh, big bomb out of Soapy just deletes Spamfest from the map. But all the frags continue to go into MTS's favor.
Yeah, although that said, the time wasn't there for MCM. They are going to lose the point there. Casper 50%, Rogue just started charging. So time's going to be about even by the time both teams are ready to fight again here.
Yeah, this time again, we are going to see the Uber ad onto the side of MTS. Last time MTS had one Zac attempt, did not go over well, and they just, built the Uber. Have to see what can happen. AGB's in position to go for a stab. Passes by Spamfest, but gets the...
Sophie just got supremely baited by Shotaway into Freelander's waiting rockets, and they got those kills for free. So this ramp squad doing a lot of work here. Shotaway gonna have to dead ringer out, will make it out in time. Watterson ate those pipes late, so he's gonna get his spawn up at the same time as AGB. And now, with 70% on Rogue, they're almost in position to do things. Another push as time does creep into even.
Yeah, Casper taking a little bit of damage from a flare, I want to say, but not too much. Callow's in an awkward spot on barrels. Yeah, Sack, they do get the force out. RJ finds that, but watch for Sandblast. He's pushing into Shutter. Shotaway's there as well, but Rogue is all the way out, it looks like.
Got caught out by the heavy, so he's going to get minigunned all the way down. Rogue, 100% Uber to work with. Once they get their players healed, NG and Heavy need some HP right now. They'll be looking to push this point. Eerie is playing for some cheese right now underneath the enemy bats. Watterson finds early kill onto Shotaway, and there's Eerie. Oh, he nearly wins the 1v1 on triple, but gets cleaned up by BM. So now they're going to Uber across point, trying to get these people off the roof. Zero's still there, but they're going to kite this medic back into ramp. They have to be careful they don't get caught by Zero here, but Zero's going to opt to keep his life. And don't go for any unnecessary plays.
But all the frags! Yeah! The glow stick finds two. Nixie finds a third.
Make it three. With a pistol from Spamfest cleaning up RJ, and that was something. I hope we're on her perspective, because I think that was an underneath flank with these crits that did so much work. Spamfest cleaning up that point for her team there.
Yeah, just you thought that push was going to go a lot better, but that might have been the turning point for the round. Just unable to find anything. Zero barely, even though he got caught out, didn't go down nearly as fast, and the Uber out on point. The mini from Spamfest kills Soapy, and that's going to be
there we go.
MTS on match point right here.
Yeah, entire match point. If MTS win this round, they win the entire match and go through to the winners finals against her Naruto. MCM looking to keep this match alive. They need to take this one. Going out to mid here. RJ has opted to go bat or fans instead of Shutter, so he's not liking the Shutter fight against Giraffe, understandably. Soapy's going to bomb over early. Gets forced right back out instantly. Now they're going to fight from bats. They're going to drop down. Erie's close on the box, though. Going to take half of Triple's HP as Cal is peeking out. Going to get instantly headshot. That was a mistake. Soapy rebomb in, and he finds Casper over the top. Going to get that enemy medic pick. Rogue going to be alive right now. They're a small man dis-ad, but with the heals, they should be able to walk on point here and take this mid.
All right, Sandblast hiding on the
He's
roof.
looking at cheese. He's looking at cheese.
Looking at cheese. Unfortunately, Rogue's already too far on the other side of the point, so he won't really be able to find anything. But they still need to get this cap in. Oh, this mini by Spades is just an anti-Sandblast talisman, forcing him back, not letting him get in to, you know, cause any chaos. So, MCM finally win a mid 4 rounds in.
Yeah, and it's exactly what they need here, since they need this round. And 100% Uber, Casper died to the late bump from Soapy, so they'll have the advantage to work with. Giraffe as well going down early. Erie's close here. Sack in from Freelander. Oh, sniped. Nixie taking out Callow. That's big there, but Sack gets denied from Freelander. They haven't forced Rogue's Uber yet, which is what they really wanted to do. So, really successful defense so far from MCM.
Yeah, Nixie has actually killed Callow twice now to save Erie's life. And it's, you know, MCM is still in a decent spot in this round, but those headshots have been clutch in helping him out. So, we see a lot of roof players right now from MCM. RJ trying to get spam onto bats to just harass them, make sure they don't have good enough health to push, or, you know, make them lose that push if they do decide to go off of it.
Yeah, either way, both meds are up on Uber now, so it's going to be MTS's time to contest. They're going to look to go through Secret, running onto point now from the crate side. They're going to look to pop across here once they can. The players can't go over roof, but they are going to trade on the front side. Devilman solos right now as Callow does take a flash, so the Uber will be a bit better for MTS here, just a little bit. Spamfest gets sniped out by Waterson, so no mini.
Bomb from Freelander gets popped up. Oh, good reflex from BM. Gotta make sure no one goes down. And there's Shadowway coming in. Not gonna find any kills either. MCM is playing very, very well right now. Not wanting to give up this match quite yet. As Rogue's looking to try to get back onto ramp.
Giraffe gets taken down by AGB, and distraction allows Waterson to get a headshot onto Erie. They're collapsing onto MTS, and MTS's health is terrible. They're going to have to run back through Shutter and recontest from bats. Both meds on about even Uber, but point is still in the favor of MTS. Freelander's bomb going to get denied entirely by BM and Spades there with that mini sentry. It's been very strong in front of the Shutter, and it's still looking good for MCM here. Sandblast is the only person who's dropped down. Erie going to meet him here.
Yeah, just again, solid play. Erie's trying to find something, and RJ will go down, so no demo's going to make this defense a lot harder, and they don't really have too much to push Erie back here.
Uber with triple here. Looks like that's what they want to do. Bomb in from Freelander again. He's going to get pushed off the roof, though. All of MTS is playing below the hut right now, trying to see what they want to do. Both teams have Uber to work with.
But AGB finds Nixie and Freelander. Those are huge picks. Sandblast goes down as well. The numbers are evened out now. Even more so. The Uber comes out. Callow's not going to have to get flashed in time, but BM can do a lot of zoning in this Uber right there. Giraffe forced back, and it looks like MCM will continue to hold this. RJ spawn back up is the perfect time.
Yep, so numbers advantage is firmly here for MTS. Their spawns are faster. They are down 2.5 minutes in the hole, though. If Rogue can keep his life here, that'd be perfect for MCM. Looks like they're going to back out through Shutter. Looking to see this point here. They lose Waterson, they lose Spades. That's fine. That's what you expected. Just get your medic out alive here, and you're fine here for MCM.
Yeah, finally coming back in here. And oh, big bomb out of Soapy. Going to find Erie. No, Heavy's going to be important here, but everyone on MCM still on ramp is fairly hard right there.
Yeah, there's the first capture of the round for MTS. They're firmly in a time deficit.
2:45 in. That round was almost a shutout if that last defense went a little bit better. So, MCM, knowing their backs are against the wall here, don't want to give this one up that quickly. Still need to cap another time, but at another instance. But Nixie getting stabbed out. It's going to be a huge opening kill. AGB almost gets out on a crazy surf, but MCM knows they've got momentum off of that. They're all surging forward. Both teams have Ubers, yeah. Casper gets sniped by Waterson. Huge pick. That's what we talked about. Waterson going forward, getting that god shot. Will go down, but it's more than worth it. Rogue still doesn't even have to use yet. We'll use to save RJ. Callow's going to eat up in the back line. MTS is almost wiped. They are going to cap this. And we're not over yet. 10 seconds, but we're about to go the full distance. All of this.
They're walking into the enemy Shutter. This is really big to deny them early. Nixie has an angle. Oh, he misses the shot onto the enemy medic. That could have been big, but either way, he'll look to back out. Freelander's on the point, gets shredded. Zero coming on, gets taken down as well, and a kick out on the point. That is the cleanest round we've seen so far for MCM to tie us up at 2 apiece. This is it. Winner takes all. 5th round. Winner of this round goes to the upper bracket finals. Guarantees himself placement.
Oh, let's see. It looks like that Bats rollout that worked for MCM last time is what RJ is going to lead off with. Giraffe in Shutter going to be a little bit low, but no frags yet. Nothing immediate happening. Shadowway is going to cross behind with that Den Ringer. He might have not even had it used. We'll chase down Callow and Shutter, but Sandblast's going to be the trade.
Nixie.
Oh, Shadowway still not dead. Finally gets the Den Ringer pop, but Freelander coming in onto Rogue. Not actually going to be able to focus him too much. The frags are slightly in MTS's favor, but MTM has the point presence right there. So he's going to be forced back, and it looks like we may see... Ooh, yeah, will find Waterson, and still alive
MCM
in that
have
back
no
line.
position here. They need to leave.
Watch Shadowway coming
again.
in, gets the Den Ringer off again. Can he get the force off onto Rogue? No, he can't. So MTS is going to take the crucial mid-fight. In the Sun Sandblast in on Rogue! They're doing a good job of body blocking. He will be forced out. Rogue not... Actually, will end up using out Shutter.
Point. Both teams here, but MCM have more numbers up. It's 9v6 right now. If they can get these cleanup kills, they'd be perfectly fine here. They're going to lose Callow, but they keep everyone else up for now. Soapy gets sniped down.
Rogue's still alive!
5k. Rogue dodging for his life. Going to
How does he live against the... How did he live in the narrow hallway? Giraffe beefs that so hard. And even though the mid went over towards MTS, MCM may have the turnaround here. Rogue still under bats, though, not healing anyone. Shadowway's chasing him out.
One more shot. Oh, he gets killed by Rogue. Rogue winning that one at the very end to keep his life. It's a consolation, though, because MTS do have the point. They will have Uber advantage because Rogue's not healing, and they have the first step into this round.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, but again, though, it's not enough. Him living there isn't enough for them to take the point back. We're almost at a minute now for MTS. Eerie playing up on that box is going to be very difficult to dislodge. At least Soapy had cleared out ramp, but he goes back into lobby to pick up a pack.
Watch out for AGB. He's going to go in, but can't quite find it. They back out just into him. He doesn't have an angle to work with, and he goes down. He's the first casualty. Now MCM trying to flood point here, get onto this. Both meds at about 80%, but Rogue very low. Going to need to get some health. There's Shadowway in the backline. 2 revolver shots. Gets the cleanup onto the enemy medic. Casper has Uber to work with. He's not going to need to use it as they lost 4. So now MTS firmly in the driver's seat. MCM nothing's worked for them this round.
Oh, yeah, it felt like they were so close so many times that Sandblast runs into bats, takes out Waterson, and even after that glorious last round from them, they've been unable to find any purchase right now. Full disad halfway through MCM's or MTS's timer. Eerie's hiding under bats. If they don't sniff him out, that could be huge. Callow drops down. Here comes the peek from Eerie. Triple's gonna see him, but they don't turn in time. Is this the 3K from Eerie? It is! 3 under bats, and he gets out, barely taking 100 damage. Absolutely shreds them. Casper did get that Uber forced off. So
yeah,
ultimately,
silver lining, they got the force. They did the 7-man sack. You just heal your engineer and spawn. That's what they did. So that's their play. They're at a 2-minute deficit. They need to make it work off that.
Yeah, we saw them do this on product in that first round, but Asheville's been a lot closer so far. This Wrangled Mini doing so much from Spamfest right here. RJ trying to get some spam in, and we'll get sniped.
That's so bad for them.
Jumps, and Nixie finds him off of the back of ramp angle. Shadowway's going to go down. Rogue's still only on 70%. If they wait for this Uber, they'll only get the Uber off at 30 seconds.
Yeah, either way, they're going to have to start edging points soon here. Their health is not that good. Nixie's going to get a 7k, wins the SBS onto Waterson. MTS are looking very good here. Draft corner peeking this point. Nixie as well is on these barrels. He's a threat to be sure. Spade's going to just walk at them, try and get anything done, but he's going to go down. Now we see in the backline, Engineer Spamfest winning the 1v1 onto Callow, and now they're going to have to force a cross while 3 players down. They're trying to go over they can. Zero's Air Blast are keeping the scout out, though. Triple just can't find a way in, and now MTS get to walk back in with Uber. They're pushing from ramp. They get the point denial. Oh, no, they don't. The first cap for MCM, but it's all about keeping players alive right now.
Yeah, everyone on MTS who needs to be activating is. Waterson just juking Sandblast will eventually go down in the dispenser, and Sandblast is going to make it out. You can't let that happen in such an important round. Eerie on a 7 streak walking forward, and all of the repressed energy that MTS has had over the past 2 maps is all coming out in this round. Less than 5 seconds
6
left.
seconds. It's looking really bad. MTS have position here. Nixie, I feel like he sniped RJ. Oh my god, Nixie.
What was that?
10k.
That was just needless. That last shot onto BM, but it sums up that last round in a nutshell. Nixie activates, Shadowway activates, Eerie activates, and MTS will pull out the long and well-fought victory. We're into tomorrow. It's Tuesday Highlander.
Oh and, yeah, let's go all the way.
the playoff special, as they will move themselves into the upper bracket finals just by the skin of their teeth. They'll have a date with Hood Naruto in, well, technically 6 days from now, right? It's Tuesday already, so MCM will move down to the lower bracket against Fat Peter. Not entirely sure what match of those we'll be casting, but stay tuned and we'll definitely bring you one of them.
Winners.
Probably upper bracket, yeah. I think it's worth it to see MTS through this, but what a game.
Yeah, we got stats on your screens right now. I'm pretty sure this is for the entirety of Asheville here. 5 rounds. Is that the longest map we had tonight? Despite, yeah, it's definitely longer than Product and probably longer than Vigil.
Vigil was 2-1,
Well,
so it's hard to tell.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, if you count the round time, because they took a long time already up, so Vigil was longer. But yeah, that one went the full distance on Asheville. Very appropriate logs as well. How many kills in total? 160 versus 207 from MTS. So even though that was pretty close, almost a 50 frag difference.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of that came from the like first and the last round, which were really one-sided. Because ultimately, looking at frags and Koth, it's really more important to look at the differences in the rounds. Because you could theoretically win 3 really close rounds and lose 2 really one-sided ones, and despite getting out fragged by like 50 or 60, you still win. That being said, though, more deaths from Rogue than Casper. 34 kills on Sandblast and Nixie. AGB, the only one even touching that on MCM side with 27. But we said that if that the demo dynamic was going to be who decided this game. Giraffe is 27 and 11. RJ's 15 and 24.
Yeah, DPM 540 to 410 rounded. So yeah, Giraffe definitely making a massive difference for his team, and it showed with how much Sandblast was able to go forward. Gets 34 kills. 380 DPM for himself. Nixie as well, just tons of headshots all the time, pretty much outperforming Watterson in every metric.
Yeah, a lot of that fueled on that last round. Sat on a 9 streak at the end of it, whereas Watterson not able to find too much. Shot away, able to be contained, but just wasn't enough. Spamfest also. 31 and 15. She is a menace on Asheville with that Wrangler, doing so much
the
pressure.
Wrangler, the reserve shooter.
Frontier Justice.
Yeah, Frontier Justice.
The glow stick, as a just great game all around. I mean, would have been nice if that last round was a double overtime just for the full narrative experience, but
could our voices have taken it?
Yeah, mine could have at least.
Did a lot of screaming in the clutch moments.
Yeah, it's the one thing I've got going for me. So would have been fine. But
what a game.
Yeah, we could sit and continue to analyze this, but ultimately, your scout did better, your demo did better, your sniper did better.
You win.
It's the Highlander Triforce, and
yeah, even though AGB had a phenomenal game, it's just not enough. You need more people on your team to step up.
So, it really is the true Highlander, isn't it? All 3 maps were lost by the team that picked them.
True. Hood Naruto hires seed next week, so they get to choose who picks more maps. So it's simple. You make them choose 2 maps. You'll win 2-1.
Yeah, the Hood won on both maps. So although they did drop a half on their own map actually, and then swept on the other team. So we still see the difference coming out there.
Yeah, what's the difference? What's stronger though? The lose your map curse or the first versus 4th seed first just kind of winning?
Yeah, difficult to tell, but yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll end up casting Hood versus MTS next week in that upper bracket finals. So stick around for that. And as I said, we are in Tuesday, so I think we'll wrap it up here. Zag, any closing words?
Oh, what a match. That one was really close. And MTS moving forward to upper bracket. They're going to see Fat Peter took rounds on payload. They're going to know that they have better results in scrims, probably. So MTS, they're going to be looking to really give Hood Naruto a run for their money. And shout out to MCM. They're going to have a match against Fat Peter next week. Winner will have another chance. Loser will unfortunately go home with 4th seed this year or this season. So, yeah, shout out to both these teams for giving us a phenomenal match.
Yeah, I mean, we joke about it, but anytime we can get past midnight, I'm happy. It means there's a good game. Lots of action. So, thank you all for sticking with us this far, but we're going to wrap it up here. I have been Alto, joined by Zag, Dolphin behind the camera as always, dropping some hearts in chat for the amazing camera work he does. And we'll have some 6s for you guys throughout the week, but you can catch Zag and I again next Monday. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.